It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada. Une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Barabird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, et par Bruce Power, and by Bruce Power.
Hey there, folks, and welcome to the U-Sports Men's Soccer Championship, the Bruce Power U Sports Men's Soccer Championship here in Oshawa, Ontario at Ontario Tech University and Vaso's Field. And it's the feature presentation of the night. The Ontario Tech Ridgebacks finally getting their opportunity to play at the national tournament. 3 games earlier today. Ben Steiner alongside Jake Begley, who has played for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. What does a moment like this mean for this program?
I mean, first off, it's incredible to be able to host a national championship, but as a player, to be able to play in one, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to be able to play in a national championship, but seeing it here in Oshawa at Vaso's Field under the lights, it doesn't get much better than that, and I'm sure both sides are excited and a little bit nervous, but excited to get started in this first national matchup between the two.
And the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks, of course, also the OUA champions this year. They downed the York Lions in the OUA Blackwood Cup final. They're up against the McGill Redbirds today. McGill, a heartbreaking end to the season, but still a very strong season. And they're back at the national championship after a long time away.
Yeah, they came up against a very strong Montreal Carabin team that we saw earlier take down the Mount Royal Cougars. And they were up early in that game. They scored very early on, 1-0, and Montreal ended up dominating that game later on and came away with the championship. But I expect this to be a very close game. It's the late game of the day. The two teams have been sitting around anxiously waiting to get going in nationals here. But, I mean, I think as the 4 seed and the OUA champions, you'd probably see Ontario Tech as the potential favorite. But I see a close matchup between the two for sure.
And McGill, of course, back at this tournament for the first time in over 10 years, 2011 the last time that they were at the U Sports Men's Soccer Championship, and they're able to make their way back. Always a competitive division, the RSEQ, with the likes of the Carabin, the UQTR Patriot. It has been quite the dominant spell in the RSEQ. McGill finally able to push through.
Yeah, I agree. Both divisions are extremely difficult, the RSEQ along with the OUA. And historically, as you said, there's fantastic teams that come out of that division. And these are two of them that we have here today as well, with McGill having another strong season, getting through their semifinals this season and having the opportunity to play at nationals. And Ontario Tech winning their first OUA championship this season, beating out the York Lions, which is probably a surprise for most people. But being the host, they proved that they deserve to be here today, and they're going to be under a little bit of pressure at home, but I'm sure they're excited to get their nationals journey going.
And quite the support out here as well.
It's great to see so many people on such a beautiful field under the lights. You can't get much better than this, and I'm excited to be here to commentate with you today, Ben.
Well, the Southern Ontario soccer scene has had great moments in League One. Ontario has had great moments in U Sports. Finally, an opportunity for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks to not only enter a tournament as OUA champions, but as the hosts, and it's certainly going to be a good one here tonight.
No, I'm excited for tonight. And with 3 great games already today, we're going to end off on a strong suit with a big crowd and and in a fantastic environment today for the support for the hometown Ridgebacks.
And Ontario Tech has also brought in a lot of players this season that have elevated their level. You know, my mind goes to the Cairo Core. He has experience at a U Sports National Championship with Cape Breton several times. Cape Breton, of course, not here this time, but they've had, you know, this experience. I think of Jaden Vilford, who comes in, one of those few that has experience with the Ottawa Fury back in the day, but certainly has been quite the build for Ontario Tech this season.
Yeah, I think Cairo Core naturally is going to stand out as a player to look out for in this game. Leads the team in scoring with 11 goals, but I think also McGill has some incredible players to look out for as well. They've got a very strong team this season. And Mar Fairs is our player to watch for McGill specifically. He was an instrumental player of this season for them, ended up making the all-rookie team for the RSEQ, and someone to watch for sure. Definitely
one of those players that allowed McGill to really elevate what they were this season and really compete against some of those teams in the RSEQ, as we see Hunter, the mascot, making its way down across the pitch as well, and those colors as well. Certainly getting the fans pretty hyped here.
Yeah, it's a great environment here for the final game of the day. I've had a great time here watching all the universities that you don't always get to see in Oshawa, Ontario compete, but I think it's been a very positive first day for everyone involved, and I'm excited for the last game of the day between the Ridgebacks and the McGill Redbirds.
And we'll be right back with the start of the match between the McGill Redbirds and the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks here at the 2024 Bruce Power U Sports Men's Soccer Championship.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Nuclear power is lighting the path to the future. A future where clean, reliable electricity meets rising energy needs. A future with a prosperous economy founded on job growth. A future where new medical isotopes triumph over disease. For decades, Bruce Power has provided clean, reliable energy to Ontario and cancer-fighting isotopes across the globe, and will continue to play a vital role in powering a clean economy for the next generation.
Welcome back to Oshawa, Ontario and Ontario Tech University. We're at Vaso's Field, the final match of the day here at the Bruce Power 2024 U Sports Men's Soccer Championships. The hosts, Ontario Tech Ridgebacks, the OUA champion Ontario Tech Ridgebacks, against the RSEQ runner-up McGill Redbirds. Certainly a good atmosphere here as we get set for this one.
Yeah, you can probably hear the crowd with the mics here. We got a fantastic crowd at Oshawa, Ontario, Vaso's Field here today for the final matchup of the day. The winner and going to end up playing the UBC Thunderbirds, as we just saw in the last matchup. But I think this is an interesting one between the McGill Redbirds and the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. With the Ridgebacks being the host, being the OUA champions, you'd probably see them as the favorite in this matchup. But McGill had a very strong season, ended up losing out to Montreal in the final of the RSEQ. But good performances from them, and you could see them in the semifinal tomorrow for sure.
And Maher Ferris, our player to watch on McGill. For Ontario Tech, you've played with all these guys. Who stands out?
I think naturally Cairo Core stands out, the striker for Ontario Tech. 11 goals, leads U Sports in goals this season. But another one I think is important to mention is Kevon Grant, the goalkeeper for Ontario Tech. He's someone I've played with for a number of seasons and is just such an incredible shot stopper. We've seen him in a number of past seasons honestly bail us out of games. And he's just a fantastic goalkeeper, just a leader in general, and he's definitely someone to look out for in this game.
And we're just about to get underway between Ontario Tech and McGill, our final match of the day on the always hectic quarterfinal day at the U Sports Soccer Championships. 4 matches, starts early in the morning, and it ends as the evening wanes down to its final hours, always with the host team. A nice tradition, fans packed, and Ontario Tech will want to make sure that more fans come out through the weekend with a good run here.
Yeah, like we stated at the end of the last game, the winner of this game is going to come up against a very difficult number 1 seed in the UBC Thunderbirds. We saw them pretty easily dominate the UNB Reds in their quarterfinal matchup, and I think it's going to be a difficult game for whoever ends up facing them, but as we've seen many times before, Nationals is extremely unpredictable.
And this Ontario Tech team, also one of the more versatile teams in the OUA. They're able to adjust in how they play based on the personnel that they're able to roll out. There's a lot of teams in the OUA that have a very committed style of how they want to approach games. Not this team.
Yeah, I think you see Cairo Core, he's got 11 goals. You'd see him as the natural goal scorer, but in the playoffs, it's actually been Aria Matai who scored 2 goals to win the OUA championship for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks against the York Lions. Both off of headers. They're a big team, big set-piece team, and it's going to be something I think we definitely need to look out for in this game, is set pieces. As Alex Irwin is another one, the captain for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks, has a number of goals in the playoffs as well.
As Noko just gets on that header for McGill. And just taken in the midfield from Jack Sears, who was quite the player in the OUA final as well, sent in from this side from Matthew Keeler.
Jack Sears, another player to look out for. He's been to a national championship before, won the OUAs at Guelph University during his time there. And as a fifth-year senior, definitely someone that has a bit of experience at this stage and is going to want to guide the younger players during this match.
It's Matthias Warwick getting set to send this one in from the near side. Right up to Arian Metai, who wasn't able to rise, pushed away from Vincent Vilnasehi.
And our player of the game to watch as well, as we had mentioned, Cairo Core, leading U Sports in goals, a first-team All-Canadian, the MVP of the OUA East. He's a quality player. He had spent some time with Cape Breton and the CPL as well, so he's definitely someone to look out for in this match.
As Metai nearly got a shot off, but Maher Ferris, our player to watch for McGill, able to work that ball up as that one just sent it all the way towards Jane Vilfert, one of these new players on Ontario Tech, but a lot of ties to Ontario Tech for Jane Vilfert, finally getting to play for the Ridgebacks here.
Mir Hassan just pulling down Jane Vilfert at the back. Mir Hassan, another player, the number 9, big man up top, the 6'5" striker for the McGill Redbirds, scored the opening goal in the RSEQ final against Montreal. They didn't end up winning that, as we had mentioned, but definitely something to look out for. It's a big target up top for the Redbirds.
As Kevon Grant gets us restarted. That one just looped up right to Cairo Core, able to knot it on. Chased on is Jack Sears. And he couldn't quite handle it, and first ball over to the crowd.
It's great to see so many people supporting the hometown Ridgebacks. There's been some very good crowds throughout the day today, but as naturally the last game and the host game, you'll see lots of people out to watch this one, and it's an exciting matchup as we've talked about so far.
As Ludovic Cicciola able to claim that one. Kobe Greaves tried to play it through. Greaves coming over from the UNBC Ridgebacks, UNBC Timberwolves, excuse me, where he was able to serve up Michael Hedman to record-breaking seasons a couple of years ago. As that one takes a deflection, but Karo Kora called offside. Wasn't quite expecting to find that ball and that opportunity.
Good press from the Ridgebacks, giving Karo Kora a potential opportunity. Unfortunately flagged offside in this moment in time.
Matthew Keeler able to just intercept that one against Vilnius.
Keeler, another player to look out for the Ridgebacks, a second-year athlete at Ontario Tech, has grown into his role so much as a left-sided player. I think he's, from last season to now, he's grown so much, and that'll only continue. He's had a great season, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, Laurent able to just head that one away, and Martin Baudelaire will get back on it. And Aaron Metai just sliding in to force that one out of play.
Metai, someone that kind of flies under the radar a little bit for this Ontario Tech Ridgeback side. All the spotlight is typically on Karo Kora, as you naturally see with the MVP of the OUA, along with the leading goal scorer in U Sports. But it's actually been Metai with very timely goals throughout the playoffs against the previous opponents of UFT, McMaster, and the York Lions in the final. So he's definitely going to be someone to look out for as well, beside Karo Kora up top.
As Vincent Vilsana, he just gets on top of Matthew Keeler, and the foul will go the way of the Ridgebacks. Grant with a switching ball over to the right side. And Vilfort will play that one up. Couldn't quite hit Metai, but streaking down that right side, trying to get there, but well defended by Stuart Cleaner.
You could see the triggers already for the McGill Redbirds, playing that straight ball straight up to their striker, Mir Hassan. It seems to be their main target man, as he's the number 9 and the striker for the team. And he's a big, towering man up there, and he's definitely going to be someone the Ridgebacks need to keep an eye out for this game. Center backs Jaden Vilford, Alex Irwin need to keep an eye on the ex-Montreal Academy player.
Of course, several of these McGill players coming through the CF Montreal Academy, also having experience in Liga Quebec, and several of them have even played in the Canadian Championship as well, with the likes of FC Laval and CSMRO.
Looks like a push in the back there from the McGill center back on Metai.
So we'll get a look at that call once again. Metai just getting 2 hands to the back there and earning the free kick for Kobe Greaves in Ontario Tech. Instructions from the Ontario Tech bench for Greaves to just wait. We've seen success on curled balls like this from Kobe Greaves. That one headed on by Metai, couldn't quite control it, and it'll be taken by Chikugola.
That's a combination you're going to see throughout the match between Kobe Greaves swinging the ball into the box, targets such as Metai and Alex Irwin, the captain for the Ridgebacks. 2 big targets in the box, and it worked against the Lions, and I'm sure they're going to want it to work today as well.
Ibrahim Chani trying to bring that one out. Former Lebanese U20 international. As Matthew Keeler goes in with a challenge and gets the brunt of the challenge with Vincent Vilnius. We'll see Keeler's challenge there once again against Milsanahi just comes in with a lot of pace, doesn't quite win the ball back, and Milsanahi gets a tackle in as well. As Jack Sears will come over with a right-footed in-swinger on this one, clearly trying to find the head of Metai.
Almost the exact position that the Ridgebacks scored earlier in the playoffs against the Nipissing Lakers. Jack Sears swinging the ball in. I believe Alex Irwin was the one who got onto it in that game.
Sears with the in-swinger. That one tries to find the head of Metai, just headed away. But Sears will regain possession for the home side. That one taken back by Kyle Azuma. Tries to bring that one through. He's taken down. And Yannick Laurent will draw the foul, and the ire of Alex Irwin as well.
Looks like he's giving it the Ridgebacks way, actually, surprisingly. We'll see a replay here. The two battling for the ball. Little push in the back, it seemed like. It's going to be the Ridgebacks' ball.
And giving these opportunities to a Ridgebacks team that has aerial targets is certainly not something you want to do if you're McGill, but a very 50-50 challenge there, and Kobe Greaves will step up once again. Greaves aiming for Vilford at the back post. He's lurking there. Alex Irwin gets ahead on it. And that one saved by Chichiola. Shani down that left side. As he'll play it back just to get rid of the pressure. Keeler able to cut that off, and Warwick just gets there before Noko. And getting chopped down at the top of the box was Mahar Ferez. Looks like Kobe Greaves committed that foul. And it'll be a free kick from a pretty threatening position for McGill.
Yeah, it's a good position for McGill. On the left-hand side of the box, I'm thinking probably Mir Hassan going to end up taking this with his left foot. The striker for the Redbirds. Also the leading goal scorer for them, scoring 5 goals this season. And our player for the game for the McGill Redbirds. But he seems like he's lining this one up and made trouble Kevon Grant in net.
Mir Hassan, the towering striker, to look at this one from distance with his left. 4-man wall for the Ridgebacks. As McGill attempt to open the scoring here, Mir Hassan with the left foot on target and forces the save out of Kevin Grant.
I feel like Kevon Grant made that a little easier than it seemed. It's a great strike from Mir Hassan. Seemed like it was too far out to shoot, but he connected very well and troubled Kevon Grant just slightly. Good save from him, though.
As Greaves will work that one up the far side, bring it down to the touchline, cuts it back, tries to find Metai. A bit of a big touch from Laurent, but he'll work it out of pressure to Chani. Ibrahim Chani tries to find Mir Hassan, but couldn't quite connect, and Greaves will just calm things down in midfield as well.
Pretty back and forth start so far. We've just seen the chance from the Redbirds, but the Ridgebacks seem to be getting a little bit of joy down the right-hand side here.
As Medanian gets on the ball at the top of the box, he'll take it with his left. That one just bobbles around. Greaves at the back post. Kaur on the bicycle kick. It's Cairo Kaur to open the scoring in the 12th minute, and the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks get the early lead.
Our player of the match to watch, Cairo Kaur, leads U Sports in goals, and he's adding to it. Great ball into the box, and it's just an immaculate finish. We'll see a replay here. Alex Medanian, left-footed cross, gets flicked up into the air. Kaur with the bicycle kick, and he beats the Redbirds goalkeeper to make it 1-0.
And he hit highlight reels a couple of years ago for scoring one of those with the Cape Breton Capers, and he's done it on the biggest stage at the National Championship to open the scoring in the quarterfinal for his new side, the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks.
Similar to the UBC game that we just saw, an early goal from the higher seed. Like we mentioned with UNB, McGill's going to want to try to ease back into this game, and they're not going to want this to get away from them too quickly.
And McGill, of course, they just had the chance from the free kick. Kevin Grant was able to make that stop. Now they find themselves down 1-0 on a miraculous goal from Cairo Kaur. As Noko just can't quite lean to keep that ball in play. Mir Hassan applies the pressure, finds Metai with the pass is Grant. Greaves' first touch just gets that cut off. And Noko gets back on the ball. Brings it wide, but Warwick able to force him over the line.
Yeah, Noko, the number 12 for the McGill Redbirds, a second-year player for them. He did play in the Halifax Wanderers CPL Academy in the past. Definitely has some experience that's going to be very important in this type of game.
Has both Swiss and Canadian citizenship. Hardcore supporter of Geneva Servette. But did spend time in the Halifax youth system growing up. As Laurent will send that one just a little bit out of reach of Mahar Ferris. It looks no worse for wear after that crunching tackle at the top of the box that got the free kick from Mir Hassan. Ferris can't quite get there, and Greaves has some space to open this up in midfield. Keeler now has Noko tracking back and forces the turnover. Onto the ball now, Kyle Azuma. He's taken down by Irwin. No call. And Yannick Laurent able to shield that one off, but shields it right to the goal scorer, Cairo Core. Just slightly held by Emilio Rossi Levin. And Cord seems like a versatile striker throughout his, U Sports career. He's able to be that target man, be that, single striker, but he's also able to hold up the play.
Yeah, I think this year at least, the combination of him and Ariane Matai up top has been working extremely well for the Ridgebacks. The two of them seem to feed off each other very well. Cairo Core likes to run in behind, a little bit more flair, but Ariane Matai, the hold-up play has been fantastic, and something we definitely saw in the final with the York Lions.
A crunching tackle there from Medanian. And Mahar Fair is certainly getting worse for wear on some of these challenges tonight. As Irwin puts the McGill defense under pressure. Able to force them to turn it over for a throw in there.
Looked like a potentially late challenge from Ariane Matai, I believe. The McGill fans and players are calling for a foul, but I think the referee may have looked away when the ball was played.
U Sports on CBC has all the action from the 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship from Wickwire Pitch in Halifax. Catch exclusive coverage of the tournament from Dalhousie University. The 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship, November 7 to 10, exclusive to U Sports on CBC.
Bit of a half chance there for the McGill number 12, Noko. Just didn't connect correctly as much as he would have wanted. Just kind of lofted it over the bar, but it's better from the Redbirds.
As Grant's deflection just takes a bit of a bobble. And that stand, the single stand that is packed, forcing people to just line the fences of the pitch as well.
Yeah, it's a great environment for this last game of the day. And I think the first goal for the Ridgebacks will start to ease their team into the game. Of course, it's nerve-wracking to be at a national championships, let alone hosting one in front of a bunch of people you know already. So that first goal from Cairo Core is definitely going to be a motivator for this Ridgeback side.
As Core shields off his defender once again. And just forces out for a throw from Medanian. McGill thought that throw was going to go their way, but will opt to go the way of the Ridgebacks, and Alex Medanian down that side. That one headed on by Core. And out of play once again. Medanian able to send that one in to Keeler. And just drawing the foul is McGill, and able to finally clear their lines. Vincent Valsana, he plays that one up the line to Noko. Couldn't quite work it through. Warwick able to keep it in. Little back heel, beats one defender, and he's up against Laurent. He has options, finds Arian Metai with some space in midfield. Looks to his left to take the shot, but he'll spread it right to Medanian. Medanian always threatening up this right side, sends the cross in and just a little bit overhit.
Not the ball Medanian was looking for there, but he's been exceptional this season. As a first-year player, scored some great goals, and he's been instrumental for head coach Ramin Mohammadi in this run to nationals. He showed so much expertise, and I mean, as a first-year player, you don't expect it out of someone like that, but he's been great watching him over the course of this year.
And you mentioned Mohammadi as well. He's been able to build this Ontario Tech program over the last number of years. A yoga instructor as well. Cares a lot for his student athletes and has been able to build this program into a national contender.
Yeah, a fantastic coach, but also a great human being as well. He loves the game. He loves the team. And he's always going to fight tooth and nail with the players as well. You'll hear him screaming throughout the game for sure, but it's the passion you expect and you want out of a head coach of a university side.
Bit of a concerning moment there for Kevin Grant, just under some pressure from Ramadi. That one headed away right to Coco in midfield. And Vilsana, he can't quite get there. Taken again by Aaron Metai, but not able to claim possession of the ball. Taken back now by Medanian. Kaur in on goal and couldn't quite connect with it.
That's a chance for Cairo Kaur. Just a mishit shot in the box, but it's good play from the Ridgebacks, and as he's already got one today, you'd probably expect Cairo to put that one away.
Vilsana, he sends that one over, but easily handled from Alex Irwin. As Matthew Keeler finds Metai. Makes the run himself, but tackled in midfield and taken back by Emilio Rossi-Levin. Yannick Laurent switches the play, has options on this near side as well, but that one just picked off nearly by Keeler. Will go on through to Noko. Noko 1-on-1 against Warwick, shifts it to his right, and Warwick able to stand in with the challenge. As Metai taken down by a crunching tackle from Yannick Laurent. It looked like the referee touched his pocket there, but certainly a vital challenge there to cut down on what was definitely an opportunity for Ontario Tech.
Yeah, Laurent just kind of coming through the back of Metai there. Doesn't get much of the ball, and a pretty easy call for the referee in the middle of the field.
As Greaves floats that one out to the right for Medanian. He's up against Chani with the left foot, curls this in. Keeler able to retrieve that second ball, but just cleared away, and Noko able to get the touch on it, and with a little bit of pace nearly got there, but taken back by Warwick. Greaves now sends that one through and just taken aside by the McGill defender, who does well to shield off Cairo Kaur.
Great ball.
Ibrahim Chami with a fantastic ball up the left side and a sliding challenge just to keep that out and right into the fencing as well.
Chami with a great ball down the line. Vilford did well to come across and win that. Looks like he's getting a yellow card, though. Wasn't sure what that was for, but I think the ref just gave him one.
Possibly for dissent or something after the play. Vilford did slide into the fencing there.
Obviously not ideal to have one of your three center backs on a yellow card early in this game. It's going to be a throw-in for the Redbirds.
That one just looped in. Noko almost there. He collides with Grant. Referee doesn't make a call.
The Redbirds side are calling for a penalty. They think Grant came through their player.
Pressure certainly not gone. Noko back on the ball, shielding the ball against Warwick, and will drop back to Yannick Laurent. Into midfield for Rossi-Levin, but tackled, and Ontario Tech able to come the other way, just cleared aside though.
There was a chance there for Jack Sears to play Cairo Kaur in on goal. Good defending from the McGill center back though.
And McGill staying pretty calm when it comes to defending a counterattack, because they, I imagine, planned and saw what York did in the OUA final as well, and being caught out a few times by this Ontario Tech counter. As Chami looks to come up the left side, but will opt to go back. Ontario Tech not looking too concerned with pressing right now, but Mir Hassan able to just force the turnover and get onto the ball himself. He'll take it himself, shifts it to the right, steps around one defender. He looks at the shot, but will drop off to Laurent. Yannick Laurent looks off the shot, chips it to the back post, and Kevin Grant will get there no problem.
The number 9 for the Redbirds, Mir Hassan, the player that we mentioned earlier in the game, as someone to watch out for. Starting to get a little bit more of the ball, a little bit more involved in this game. Definitely something the Redbirds need if they want to get back into this.
Laurent picks off the pass there, leaves it to Noko, who just chips it up to Laurent, brings it down to the touchline, cuts it back, headed away from Irwin. And just a safe play from the skipper, Alex Irwin.
Yeah, Alex Irwin, such a reliable center back for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. Someone you really don't need to worry about having a good game, a very consistent player, and was honored with a second-team All-Canadian last night as well at the banquet.
As the Redbirds just able to keep this ball in play, Greaves lofts it up to Coeur and just taken back by Laurent, who's looked active through these first 20 or so minutes. Ibrahim Chami now looks at his options, opts to go short and find that little pocket. A little bit of a push there, but not called. Mir Hassan takes a shot and just blocked away from Grant.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Mir Hassan only needs a very small window of room to get a shot off. Great ball into his feet, good first touch, and with his weak right foot gets a shot on goal. Kevon Grant was up to the challenge with a strong right arm, but McGill Redbirds, they're beginning to get into this game a little bit more.
Right-footed in-swinger kick from the far side set to come in. McGill certainly with some targets in the box. They'll opt to go short with it, bring it to the top of the box and just whiffed on the left-footed volley. And here come the Ridgebacks on the counter. Matt Keeler sends it out to Metai, just slowed down a little bit, but sent up by Sears and just picked off. Greaves able to retrieve possession, tries to find Metai. Rossi Levin able to get back on it, gets tied up with Keeler, who takes a boot to the face, but the play will continue. Keeler, a right-footed cross into Coeur, just sends that one over to Alex Medanian on that far side. It was Arian Metai that went down to the bar with the boot in the face, but he looks no worse for wear. As Medanian takes control down that right side. Gets it to Jack Sears, brings it down to the corner, and it'll just trickle over the corner for a Ontario Tech Ridgebacks corner opportunity.
Good play from Medanian and Sears on that right-hand side. Medanian trying to slip a ball into Sears, but just doesn't come off. Showing a replay of that collision with Metai. Looks like just a strong battle for me.
Took a bit of a knee to the head, it looked like. Thought on second look. As Greaves steps up to the corner kick. Left-footed in-swinger to come in. That one just floated tightly and skips aside.
It's what we noted in pregame. Set pieces for the Ridgebacks, something to look out for. It looked like a combination of Metai and Alex Irwin.
As McGill looked to play out of the back and hold on to possession for a little bit. Noko able to take a run himself up against Keeler, and Keeler just able to touch it aside. CBC is your exclusive coverage of the Vanier Cup playoffs. Catch the 2024 UTEC and Mitchell Bowls Saturday, November 16th, and the 2024 Vanier Cup Championship game from Richardson Stadium in Kingston on November 23rd. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. on CBC TV, CBC Gem, CBC Sports, and CBCSports.ca. You Sports on CBC, where champions are made. As Coeur just taken down as he tried to make a turn. And he looks no worse for wear, but asking for a card to the official.
Yeah, Ramin Mohammadi is looking for it as well on the Ridgebacks bench. I didn't see too much in it. It was definitely a foul, but I don't think it warranted a yellow card. Good play from Cairo Coeur to hold it up, but there has been a few fouls in this game early on. It's kind of slowed down the tempo in the last couple minutes.
As Ibrahim Chami able to get there first. And Mahar Fair is able to win that ball as well. Sent up to Ferris down that left side. He has options in the middle. Amir Mahdi tries to put that back. Ferris back on the ball though. From the top of the box, a nice step there and just cleared aside from Irwin. But danger certainly not gone with the left foot, and Grant able to slide and make the save.
I thought Mir Hassan had a chance to swing his left foot at that after Ferris crossed it into the box. He elected for a little back heel. Didn't end up coming out for the Redbirds, but
You're going to look at that chance from Vincent Vilsana. He forced a save out of Kevin Grant, who makes these saves look easy, but not quite.
Yeah, he's such a good goalkeeper. Claims almost everything in the air. It's almost impossible to get crosses into the box with him there. And as I said earlier, such a great leader for this team, being a fifth year.
So Warwick with the throw down the near side. Tries to find Metai. And that one just taken aside by Martin Beaudelet. Tackle one, and Corey able to get on it. He's taken down again, but advantage played. Metai gets on the second ball and finds Keeler out on this near side. He sends it in first touch and just cut off early. Greaves able to get there though. And Maher Ferris able to get the touch. And Irwin working well with Warwick just to defend that danger that is Mir Hassan, as Metai taken down forcefully.
I expected the ref to potentially point the other way. I thought it was going to be a Ridgebacks free kick, but Redbird's ball it is. We'll see a replay here.
Looked to me like an arm came up and Metai was taken down, but ref seeing otherwise.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. A little bit of a battle between the two of them, but ref ended up giving it the Redbirds' way.
As Metai able to get on the ball in midfield. Just leave it for Jack Sears as he looks to open up some space and slow this down. Sends it over to Metai, who was making the run. Had Medanian supporting him as well. But right in the middle of the two was Jack Sears' delivery.
Jack Sears is another veteran player for this Ridgeback side. First team All-Star in the OUA this year and a previous second team All-Canadian back in 2022. Someone the Ridgebacks are going to lean on for some guidance in this game as it progresses.
As Maher Ferris just dropping back into the back line, seeing if he can orchestrate anything from a little bit deeper in midfield. And McGill certainly settling into the game. They haven't necessarily been outplayed or outchanced. I would say that they probably had the better of the chances as Noko just takes a bit of a tumble on the turf, which might be getting a little bit slippery in the cold.
Yeah, McGill has definitely had more of the ball the last little bit after the goal. They've responded well from the Cairo core finish. I think they've had more of the play, more of the chances, as you mentioned, Ben. But as we know, the Ridgebacks still lead, and McGill does need to get a couple more chances to try to get back into this.
As Beaudelet sends that one up to Mir Hassan. Mir Hassan able to just get past the first defender before Alex Irwin was the one to pick it off. And Yannick Laurent once again able to work as that midfield linchpin. Chipping that out wide to Noko. Takes what looked like a good first touch, but just lets it bobble over the line.
Kobe Greaves, another player for the Ridgebacks. The number 2 in the middle. Such a calming presence for them. Slow down the play. Never really gives the ball up. Just someone who's played, as we mentioned, in other divisions across U Sports, and another veteran of the team, which the Ridgebacks will rely on a lot for the rest of the game.
Ibrahim Chami tries to play that one up to Ferris. Ferris just gets on it, taken back by Chami as it wasn't a very successful clearance. And that one just pushed up. Kaur tried to run onto it, but a smart turn there just to open up space and make sure Kaur wasn't on the high press against the goalkeeper. Aerial threat just headed away temporarily by Irwin. And Warwick able to win the challenge and not quite get the danger away though. Valsanahi sends that into Ferris. He looked for the shot but opts to go over to Ibrahim Chami, the Lebanese U20 international, with the cross. And back come the other way are the Ridgebacks, slowing it down a bit though. Aaron Metai. Is Metai able to pick up the loose ball. And the Ridgebacks finally able to get some bodies forward. Keeler streaking down this left side. Calls for the pass. Medanian chips that one over. And it will just find Keeler. Tries to cut it back. But McGill caught slightly off guard. Maybe Ontario Tech caught even more off guard by that ball. Warwick able to step in, get past Vilsanahi, who clears it out for a throw-in.
I think the backline of the Ridgebacks have done well so far through the first 34 minutes of this match. The combination of Warwick, Irwin, and Vilford hasn't given Mir Hassan and the rest of the Redbirds attackers much space.
The road to the Vanier Cup continues this Saturday when the Western Mustangs head up the 401 to face the Laurier Golden Hawks in the Ontario University Athletics Football Championship, the Yates Cup. Catch the 116th BioSteel Yates Cup Championship Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, and OUA.tv. That one just looped over to Jane Vilford, who another one of those players that has a ton of experience in the OUA with the York Lions, and then comes on over, and decent piece of Canadian soccer trivia as well. One of the few active players that still at one point played for the Ottawa Fury.
Yeah, I think Vilford's been a big part of this Ridgebacks backline this season. Some more veteran nature in the back for them, alongside Alex Irwin.
A feisty challenge there. Yannick Laurent able to work the ball up and taken through from Kyle Azuma. Azuma not quite able to make the impact that he's wanted so far in this game. The Vancouver native who spent a little bit of time playing for the Aztecs of Puebla University this offseason. Did a 6-month exchange to Puebla University. As Noko tries to work that one through, dribbles into a bit of space with his left, curls it on net, and once again, Kevon Grant with the stop.
Good feet from Noko to get that chance. Dribbles into the middle of the field. Pretty easy for Kevon Grant. Seemed to read that fairly well, but it's good play from the number 12.
It's a few times we've seen McGill go for a shot from distance, especially with the left foot, and being able to just curl that on target, but taken now by Azuma. Noko. Nice little touch up to Azuma on the touchline. Has Hassan at the back post, but couldn't quite hit him.
Smart for Medani, and he had a couple players on his back there to head that out. Unfortunately for a corner, but away from danger.
As the Redbirds in the 37th minute approach their second corner kick of the match. As targeted on net and goes off the Ontario Tech defender and into the goal. It's an own goal, and the McGill Redbirds have tied this one up off the set piece.
It's a great ball in. Causes problems for the Ridgebacks, clearly. And we're back level in this match.
And you see the delivery there from Mahar Ferris, and it looks like it goes off Alex Irwin potentially.
I think potentially Laurent may have even got a touch on it at that near post. He seemed to celebrate after the goal. Either way, it's 1-1 late in this first half.
And once again approaching halftime with a score that is tight like we have in each of the games today. Even in the UBC versus UNB game that ended 4-2, UNB managed to make it to halftime at 2-1.
Yeah, in that game, we did see UNB tie that up, similar to what McGill has done in this game. We did end up seeing UBC grab a quick goal afterwards. We'll see if Ontario Tech can do similar. And
you can see the fans really getting into it this time. Not too pleased with the backflips from Yannick Laurent. Laurent is indeed getting credit for that goal. Assisted by the corner taker, Maher Ferris. But another set piece opportunity here for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks and Kobe Greaves.
Greaves going to look to pick out Alex here and potentially here the number 4 at the back post for the Ridgebacks.
As Greaves lofts this one in. Does find Irwin, who just couldn't quite rise to it. And he'll go out for a goal kick.
Throughout this first half, the Redbirds back line has been up to the challenge of the set pieces of the Ridgebacks. Both goals against the Lions in the OUA final were headers for the Ridgebacks, and I think McGill has done a great job at defending them so far.
As Vilnason, he tries to spread the play but couldn't quite connect. Warwick sends that one to the side and able to win it back as well. Greaves able to chip that one up to Keeler, who does get there first and does well to just slow the play down, shield that to the corner, and work it down back to the touchline and earn a corner kick for Ontario Tech.
Great play from Matthew Keeler to win a corner there. Kind of got himself into a bit of a tight situation there with a couple McGill defenders, but does well to win his side a corner.
It will be Alex Medanian that comes over to take the corner kick. Just a few moments after McGill tied this game on a corner kick, Ontario Tech with the opportunity with the in-swinger. That one floated right to Irwin, on goal, off the line! And a perfect corner kick execution, foiled by a goal line clearance.
It's the Ridgebacks' go-to. Set pieces, crosses, looking out for the captain, Alex Irwin. It's a great header. He got good contact right on goal, but it's cleared off the line.
And I'll certainly try that once again. Second corner now for Ontario Tech. Similar delivery. That one floated right on goal and headed away out the nearly backside, but it'll be a deep throw for Ontario Tech.
Would have been the perfect response for the Ridgebacks, similar to what the Thunderbirds did in the earlier game. It is cleared off the line, however. It's well defended again by the Redbirds.
That cross comes in. Kaur heads it on. And Warwick tries to get there, but counterattack now. Mir Hassan nearly got there, but Vilford able to win the foot race. Able to get back onto it is Arian Metai. Greaves now in midfield. Leaves off to Metai, who's drifted wide. Has Keeler floating in the back post. Core in the box too, but that one will go out for a throw.
Head coach Ramin Mohammadi yelling at Matai. Wants him to get in the box, and I'd have to agree with him. You want your big target striker in the box. Let Sears, let Nania, let Greaves try to get crosses in, but you need him and you need Arian Matai and Cairo Core in the box.
And another corner kick opportunity here from the other side for Ontario Tech. It'll be Kobe Greaves to take this one. His delivery has been strong throughout the OUA Blackwood Cup playoffs. As this one just floated a little bit tightly at the back post. And Noko will come out with the counterattack. Doesn't have much attacking support. He has Keeler and Warwick hounding him down. And Keeler able to get the challenge in, but second ball won by Vilnason High. That one just chipped over the top, and Warwick once again able to get there first. As Metai now, he has options. Arian Metai lays off to Jack Sears. He'll bring it to his right, back to his left. He's taken down. Referee says no foul. And Noko just quite able to keep it in, but turns it over. Kobe Greaves now, he has a little bit of space. Will take it himself on his left. Chips it out to the left for Matt Keeler. That cross goes in right to Metai on goal, and he was wide open. But a fantastic stop from Ludovic Cicchiola.
I think in that situation, it was just the pace of the ball. The cross was a little lofted. It was difficult for Matai to get enough power and contact on that to really challenge the McGill Redbirds goalkeeper.
Get another look at that opportunity there from Arian Matai, who is usually quite threatening when it comes to that position, but wide open. Couldn't get enough power on it to place it.
Thinking again about it, he may have had time to potentially take that down. The McGill defender missed the header, and he may have had more time than he thought.
Is that one taken in the bonk by Ferris? And Kaur once again trying to hold off his man. He's able to let a few attackers catch up to him and gets it back after the quick exchange. Perfect execution from Kairo Kaur there as Metai with the exchange with Greaves sends that over to Keeler with acres of space to attack. Keeler up against Vilnius-on-He, brings it to his right. He goes to ground, but this one taken back, shot on, collision, but that'll go out for a goal kick.
It's a good counter-attacking play from the Ridgebacks. Keeler's always at his best when he's driving at the back line, and he did very well there.
And Keeler, just a little bit of a bobble on the first touch. If he got that cleanly, he would have been clean and on goal and potentially could have just lofted that over to the far post. But a chance nonetheless for Ontario Tech. So we go into a single minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. And just chipped on through to Kairo Kaur, able to hold off his defender. Left-footed strike. Goalkeeper bobbles it, but nobody there to collect the rebound.
Yeah, good run from Kairo Kaur. It was on his weaker left-hand side. Pretty easy save for the Redbirds keeper.
So we're now into that 1 minute of stoppage time. Noko able to control that one up against Warwick. He ends up winning that battle. Warwick still with him on his right foot, sends the cross in, just headed away, but right there was Farron. That strike from distance to Grant, bobbles it and had the striker going right down on him, but able to keep his hands on the ball.
That was the first team all-star, Ibrahim Chami with the strike. A strong left-footed shot. Bobbled slightly by Kevon Grant, but he seemed to cover it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Mir Hassan right there bearing down on him, but able to recover it on the second opportunity as Chami gets right back on the ball down that left side. Chami taken down and will earn a late free kick here for McGill. The best outdoor racers in Canada are in Kelowna, BC this weekend for the 2024 U Sports Cross Country Championships. Catch U Sports on CBC's exclusive live coverage, beginning with the men's 8K and followed by the women's 8K at 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the 2024 U Sports Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships exclusively on U Sports and CBC.
Foul there given away by Kobe Greaves. Looks like this ball is going to come into the box from the Redbirds. Well cleared away by Irwin.
And the first half comes to an end. An exciting first half. 1-1 between these two teams, and certainly a lot of opportunity.
I think it's as we expected early on. It's going to be a close match between two seemingly close teams. I don't think one or the other dominated this first half. McGill seemed to have a little bit more of the ball later on in the half, and the momentum coming with that late goal, but it's a good game that we have in our hands here.
We've seen big chances from both teams, big saves from both teams as well. Who do you think has the momentum going into this second half?
Yeah, I think naturally McGill coming off a goal late on in the first half here, they're going to be happier going into halftime with a little bit of momentum, but we'll see what happens as we return from halftime.
We'll head to a quick break and be back soon here. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
All the goals.
That is a worldie!
All the drama.
That is absolute chaos!
It all leads to this.
Are you kidding me?
The Canadian Premier League final, Saturday at 3 Eastern.
How are your investments doing?
That was on purpose. You know that topic always throws me off.
Lots of people feel that way. But don't worry, BMO's got advice to spare with any investment guidance and support you need.
I need some.
And you'll get it with personalized investing recommendations to help you feel confident in your decisions.
I'm curious. Do you roll as good as you help?
Bowling mode.
It's yes, by the way.
BMO.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Earlier this fall, U Sports and PepsiCo Foods Canada announced an innovative partnership marking a significant step towards supporting the career development of student athletes and positively impacting the future of Canadian university sport. They're proud to bring you the PepsiCo Foods Canada U Sports Champion Spotlight. Today, Sarah Saeed joins Ridgebacks keeper Kevin Grant to talk about his U Sports career.
I'm with Kevin Grant at Vaso's Field, and he's part of Ontario Tech's men's soccer team. Kevin, I want to get to know you a little bit. Can you describe yourself?
I'm a bit of a quiet person, but definitely loud on the field. If you ever came to one of my games, you could definitely get me on the field. I like my music, and I like my me time. I really enjoy my me time.
How did you first start playing soccer?
I was 3, and my parents gave me a soccer ball. Then just running around, kicking the ball. Parents decided that they were gonna put me in soccer, and ever since then, I actually started as a left wing center mid. I think it's been since I was 11 and 12 that I made the switch.
What is it like to be in net during a soccer game as a goalkeeper?
My friends think I'm crazy to put myself in between the posts, but I love it. It's a difficult position, and some people may not understand it, but you just got to be mentally strong and mentally tough in the net to keep your head up, regardless of whether you get down a goal or you get scored on.
What made you choose to play at Ontario Tech?
I actually live 5 minutes away, so I wasn't really trying to travel too much, and I was previously at Durham College, so I played 2 years there, and then after COVID year, I decided that I was going to transfer to Ontario Tech to play on the soccer team. So it's very convenient that 5 minutes away, fields here, we train every morning, and then I just go about my day, have my classes.
The championship is coming up here, men's soccer championship at Ontario Tech.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be able to potentially experience that right on your home turf?
Back in 2019, I was a part of the Durham Lords championship run when we hosted nationals. So it's very exciting to do it with Ontario Tech as well. And being one of the leaders and having that experience, so I can be like, help my team to the best of my ability to lead us into another, or our first ever national championship. And it's kind of sweet that we have it on home ground, home territory. So we're not really looking to lose it to anybody. So we're going to be hungry. We're going to come out strong. And a lot of people are doubting us in our ability because we have a new and fresh squad, but we're going to shock.
After this timeout, we'll meet the nominees and award winners for a U Sports Major Award. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Where exceptional student athletes are born. Where records are broken. Where great plays are made. Where school colors ignite passion. Where champions prevail. Where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
La dépendance à la nicotine se manifeste sournoisement. Méfie-toi.
Celebrates its best, honoring major accomplishments of its student athletes in each sport. Here are the nominees and winner of the 2024 U Sports Player of the Year Award.
The nominees for the 2024 Joe Johnson Award as the U Sports Men's Soccer Player of the Year are en nomination pour le prix Joe Johnson décerné à l'athlète de l'année en soccer masculin U-Sport, du sport universitaire de l'Atlantique from the AUS, Colby Mercer, Université St. Mary's University, du réseau du sport étudiant du Québec from the RCQ, Gabriel Viteoper Balbinotti, Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, UQTR, des sports universitaires de l'Ontario from the OUA, Christian Zeppieri, Université York University, et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne, from Canada West, Matteo Brzezina, Université de la Vallée du Fraser, University of the Fraser Valley. Le lauréat du prix Joe Johnson décerné au joueur de l'année en soccer masculin U-Sport est the winner of the Joe Johnson Award as the 2024 U Sports Player of the Year in men's soccer is Christian Zeppieri, Université York University.
nicotine addiction sneaks up on you. Beware.
Make some noise for your Ontario Tech. Falling everywhere, what? Fearing the regrets, what? Knocking out the best, yeah. Blocking up the rest. I am a Ridgeback. If you're a Ridgeback, make some falling everywhere, what? Fearing the regrets, what? Knocking out the best, yeah. Blocking up the
All the goals,
That is a worldie!
all the drama.
That is absolute chaos!
It all leads to this.
Are you kidding me?
The Canadian Premier League Final, Saturday at 3 Eastern.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Nuclear power is lighting the path to the future. A future where clean, reliable electricity meets rising energy needs. A future with a prosperous economy founded on job growth. A future where new medical isotopes triumph over disease. For decades, Bruce Power has provided clean, reliable energy to Ontario and cancer-fighting isotopes across the globe, and will continue to play a vital role in powering a clean economy for the next generation.
Welcome back to Oshawa, Ontario, and Vaso's Field at the Bruce Power 2024 U Sports Men's Soccer Championships. 1/2 down in the final match of the day between the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks and McGill Redbirds. 1-1, a very back-and-forth game so far.
It's been an exciting day. It's been an exciting match, and we've got an exciting second half coming for you, too, with a 1-1 matchup. Pretty even stats between the two teams. I think McGill may have had a little bit more of the ball later on in that half, but honestly, it's been a fairly even matchup so far.
And McGill definitely having a bit more control later in that half, forcing a couple saves out of Kevin Grant as well. And we'll get a few look at those saves and the couple goals as well coming up.
Yeah, this first one was brilliant from Alex Medani, getting the ball into the box, and then it's just the U Sports OUA East Player of the Year with a fantastic finish from Cairo Core. You can't ask for much more from your target striker than that. And then the corner kick from McGill as well.
Then McGill able to score off the set piece. It looked like an own goal initially. It does look like Yannick Laurent on replay got ahead on it and certainly celebrating as if he scored that himself as well. But all to play for in the second half.
Yeah, and as we noted in the first half, surprisingly, actually, we were expecting the Ridgebacks to be more potent on set pieces, but it's actually the McGill Redbirds grabbing a goal off of a set piece. I think the Ridgebacks still have been fairly dominant on set pieces.
There was the goal line clearance. There was the goal line clearance as well. And so Ontario Tech has been threatening on set pieces, but certainly still a lot to play for in this second half with a spot in the semifinals on the line. And we haven't seen extra time or a penalty shootout today through the other three games. Could we see it in this one?
I'm surprised, to be honest, we haven't seen it, but we have not seen penalties yet today, and with a game tied 1-1, we'll see what happens in the second half.
As we are just about ready to get underway for this second half in our last match of the day between McGill and Ontario Tech. McGill in their all-whites attacking from right to left. Ontario Tech in the all-blue from left to right. And it has been a long time since I've seen a two-person kickoff, as McGill just did.
Looking to increase that pass completion rate.
As Mir Hassan tries to send that through. Ibrahim Chami now attacking down this near side. That one just chested down from Yannick Laurent to Mohar Ferris. Greaves able to put his left foot through that, but just headed down and cleared aside. And on this near side, Alex Medanian sends that one just on through, cleared out from the McGill center back.
I think a big part of the second half of the Ridgebacks is utilizing Alex Medanian and Matthew Keeler along the flanks of the McGill defense. They've had a little bit of joy in that first half getting down the wings, and I think it's definitely something I'm sure Ramin Mohammadi looked at in the second half.
Of course, having played under Ramin Mohammadi, what are halftimes like with him in a situation like this?
I think as an any coach, it depends on the result, but in a game like this where it's pretty close, it's a pretty evenly matched matchup between the two teams, you just look for a bit of effort from your team, a strong start to the second half, try to nick one early, and if you can get the next goal, then great. If not, then you come out with a little bit more effort and try to get back into the game. But I'm sure he's positive with that first half from the Ridgebacks.
As Kobe Greaves able to sidestep a couple players and work that ball down the left touchline. Matt Keeler brings it down and just gets a little bit too much of a touch on it and go out for a goal kick. No subs at halftime between these two teams. As Keeler able to gain possession on that left side, chips it up just to the side and getting a slight touch on it, but nothing too threatening.
It's a good idea from Kobe Greaves getting that ball across the face of the goal. Like I noted, it's important for the Ridgebacks to use that width with Keeler and Medanian, and Greaves did a good job there with it.
Chami with the effort to try and just chip that up into space, but it just trickles over the near touchline, and it'll be Alex Medanian with the throw-in. Corey able to get there first, but quickly taken back by Luciano Nanya.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Chami along this left-hand side, that's near side in the second half. Thought he had a very strong first half, couple shots on goal, some good passes down the line, and I think the combination of him and Mir Hassan up top will be important for the Redbirds going forward.
Nick Laurent dropping a little bit more in as almost a pure 6 in the way that they've come out for this second half. But Noko tries to force his way through. He's taken down by Keeler, but gets a pretty good set-piece opportunity here for McGill.
Yeah, this is a good position for them. It looks like Ferris going across to potentially swing this in. Maybe Chami, but this is a good position to get a ball into the box for the big men up top for the Redbirds.
Mir Hassan, of course, the primary target, given he scored over half the team's goals this year. But Noko certainly able to get ahead on it. You can see Baudelet, the center back, getting up there as well. But it will be Ibrahim Chami going over to that side to take it with his left foot. Chami just floats this into the far post, just at the edge of the 6-yard box, but doesn't make its way to ground, and that one's taken back by Yannick Laurent. Nice little flick there, but goes the way of the Ridgebacks, and they've sparked a counterattack here through Cairo Core. Alex Medanian available at the back post, but that one will go wide to Keeler. And Keeler tries to beat his man. He does. Keeler with a bit of space, but can't get by the second defender. Alex Irwin maintaining possession up against the McGill defender. He gets past Farron. Irwin with the long shot. That one just blocked away. But Medanian with some space here. Medanian one-on-one takes it to his right. And that one just goes out of play for a corner kick.
Good pressure from the Ridgebacks. Started off with a counterattack with Core and Keeler. Irwin stepped forward to take a shot, but it's Medanian with the last chance on goal there. Unfortunately takes a deflection and goes out wide, but it's a good start from the second half from the Ridgebacks, and Keeler driving forward at the McGill back line, and it's going to be another chance for the Ridgebacks with a corner kick here.
And it will be Kobe Greaves to send in the corner kick.
He's had some good service already today. A couple opportunities for Ridgebacks to get headers on the ball in the first half.
We've seen the goal line clearance and, of course, the McGill goal. As Greaves gets set to send this one in with his left. Greaves sends that in, hits Irwin at the back post. Getting up to punch it was Cucciola. McGill just not quite able to break out. Ferris tries to work it through, and that'll go for an Ontario Tech throw.
There's always some sort of problem that the ball from the Ridgebacks seems to be causing on set pieces, whether it's Greaves from the right-hand side or Medanian from the left. It always seems to cause difficulty for the McGill Redbirds back line.
That one just headed away. Mir Hassan couldn't quite get there, and that's taken back by Jack Sears. Sears with the step over and finds Keeler, who's been quite involved in both these halves. That just bobbles around. Metai was there to pounce on it, but just trickles out, and it'll be another corner kick for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks.
Yeah, McGill will be disappointed with that. A few deflections and a little bit of a missed clearance goes out for a unwanted corner kick, I'm sure.
And it will be Alex Medanian with the right-footed in-swinger from the far side. As Medanian sends this one in, nearly finds Irwin, bobbles around in the box, but Ibrahim Chami able to get there first and clear the danger. One of the lesser threatening set pieces from Ontario Tech.
Credit to the Redbirds so far. There's been a number of corner kicks throughout the match, and they've defended them very well. They haven't conceded yet from a set piece, and it's definitely a big part of the Ridgebacks game.
There's a challenge there from Jack Sears, sends Chami flying. And Ontario Tech will have to earn back possession. Irwin able to claim that one and avert the danger. And right into the crowd as well. Purely caught too. U Sports on CBC has all the action from the 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship from Wickwire Pitch in Halifax. Catch exclusive coverage of the tournament from Dalhousie University. The 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship, November 7 to 10, exclusive to U Sports on CBC.
Kobe Greaves on the left-hand side now with Matthew Keeler. Just a poor touch from Keeler. Ball goes out for a goal kick coming for the Redbirds.
Keeler able to get himself quite involved throughout this match, even more so than he was in the OUA final.
Yeah, I think Keeler's at his best when he's getting the ball at his feet and really driving at back lines. That's where he's the most dangerous and he causes the most problems.
That's sent over the top for Mir Hassan to run on to, but just challenged aside by Irwin, who finds Vilfer. Yannick Laurent tries to earn that back from Greaves, but Greaves able to find Arian Metai. And the Ridgebacks will just shift it to this near side for Medanian. Medanian inside to Jack Sears. And regaining possession off the loose ball. Medanian not just quite able to keep it in on the near touchline.
Not too many chances so far in the second half. A few corner kicks, but McGill have defended them well, and both teams kind of feeling each other out early in the second half.
Mir Hassan able to get the first touch on that, but it'll go right to Sears, and Coor runs onto it as it goes out of play. Chami with the long throw up the line, just headed aside by Keeler. Chami just lofts it over Jaden Vilford, but taken back by Sears now, and he'll look to transition through Metai in midfield. Vilford a little bit less involved as a more of a linchpin center back as he usually is tonight. So that one sent up to Keeler, couldn't quite get there. As Ferris sends that one up to Mir Hassan. Just taken back in midfield. Bit of a odd touch, and Ferris able to get back on it. Yannick Laurent leaves that one for Rossi Levin. We'll slow things down. And McGill will try up the other side. And they've switched Matthew Keeler over to the right side after having him on the left for most of the match. Chami with just a bit of a big touch to get by Keeler. And that bobble nearly worked out for the Ridgebacks. Taken back by Mir Hassan.
McGill starting to gain a little bit of dominance of the possession of the ball here late middle of this second half.
Mir
Good feet
Hassan
from Mir Hassan.
up against Irwin, able to keep the ball close as he comes his way into the box. But Ontario Tech just not able to gain possession of the ball. McGill not necessarily able to create anything too threatening just yet either. As Chami sends that one through to Rossi Levin. He'll have an opportunity, but Vilfort slides over to make that challenge.
Just a lack of composure there from Luciano Nania. Clearing the ball into touch, he had more time than he expected, but it's again good play from Chami down this left-hand side. It's a good ball into his player, making a great run. Seems like everything's kind of coming down this way at the moment.
Chami able to get his foot on it and earn the corner kick for McGill. And after all that pressure, they finally been able to work the ball all the way down to the touchline.
And as we saw in the first half, McGill scored on a set piece already.
McGill certainly with the quality to make a set piece like this count. Maher Ferris with the right-footed in-swinger to come in. As Ferris sends that one to the near post, but headed away from Jack Sears and Alex Medanian to kickstart the counterattack. He just pushes that one around his defender. It was nearly taken down, but McGill will regain possession through Yannick Laurent. And just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Bit of a miscommunication between Medanian and Core. Looked like Core wanted it to his feet, but Medanian unfortunately played it into space.
That one sent over the top, and Alex Irwin able to get the first touch on it and control it, but just not quite able to calm it down and keep possession for the Ridgebacks as that slides through. Irwin taken down against Noko. But for the first time in what seems like 10 minutes, the Ridgebacks have the ball in possession.
Yeah, I'm sensing a little bit of nervousness from the Ridgebacks at the moment. A couple misplaced passes, misplaced clearances. They just need to ease back into the game as they were in that first half, control a little bit more of the possession.
Kobe Greaves able to get onto the ball. Sends it to Jack Sears, and the Ridgebacks look to find some of their rhythm again. Keeler with the right-footed cross in, and that one claimed by Kajola. The top two teams in Canadian football descend on Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario on Saturday, November 23rd for the 2024 Vanier Cup Championship game. Tickets are selling fast, so scan the QR code on your screen or go to usports.ca to buy tickets as Ontario Tech able to get a chance. Arian Metai pulled down in the box, appeals for a penalty, but it goes out for a goal kick.
I think the appeals were mainly the crowd, to be honest. I think it may have been a slip from Arian Metaj as the temperature decreases a little bit more here at Vaso's field. We'll see this again here. Good ball from Sears to slip in Matai, and yeah, it does look like a slip from him. I think it's just the loud Oshawa crowd trying to get a penalty out of that, but it's the right call from the referee.
Is Vilford able to possess the ball in his defensive end and send that back to Kevon Grant, who hasn't had much to do in terms of shot stopping in the second half, despite all McGill's possession. Metai with a little flick over to Cairo Cour, but not able to hold on to it as Ferris able to control. Yannick Laurent. He's taken down by Irwin, appeals for a foul. Referee looked to blow the whistle, but plays advantage. Yannick Laurent is down in a heap of discomfort.
I think he's going to come back to the challenge after the ball goes out. I think it was Matai who came flying through Laurent.
And I don't think that ball went out. It curled right back in for Chami to get back onto it. As Angus Logan plays that one across. And McGill saying that they should come back for the foul.
Well, when it initially happened, it looked like he was running over to potentially give him a card, but then the play continued. We'll see this challenge here.
At the replay. Metai did miss the ball, but don't know if there was actually contact there.
Yeah, in general, it was a bit of a late challenge, but the ref doesn't end up giving a card. Good possession at the moment from the Redbirds. I think a key player to this at the moment has been Laurent. He's gotten a lot of the ball in the middle, the number 6 for the Redbirds, dictating the tempo of the play at the moment for his team.
Mir Hassan able to get the ball with a little bit of pace and space. Spreads that one to the right side. He has an option in the middle, but just picked off by Alex Irwin. And Irwin will spark the counterattack here. Quick appeals for offside, but Cairo Cour quickly switches the play. Nearly gets it to Keeler, who's able to keep it in on the touchline. And Keeler sends the cross in, and that one is claimed by Chiquikola.
Good idea from Cour to switch the play over to Keeler. Potentially would have liked to see him drive forward, but it's a good idea to get the ball into the box.
And quickly down the other way is Mir Hassan. Mir Hassan up against Alex Irwin, gets on through, and it's Jack Sears just getting a piece of the ball.
Ridgeback seemed to be claiming for a bit of simulation from Mir Hassan. Ref ends up giving a corner kick.
We'll get another look at that as Mir Hassan goes down in the box after beating Alex Irwin. A nice skip over, and that could very well have been a foul. There was certain contact there. As McGill get another opportunity on the corner kick. Is Maher Ferris with the right footer once again. Floats that right into the near post and not threatening at all.
Chami looks like he's coming over to this near side to take the throw in.
Chami a little bit more shifting over to the right side after playing most of the game on the left. In the same way that Keeler made the shift for Ontario Tech. That one's looped right into Mir Hassan. He couldn't rise to hit it. And Keeler able to loft that one down, taken by Yannick Laurent. Rossi Levin works that one back to Yannick Laurent and just cleared away by Vilford up to Metai. Tried to move it quickly, but it'll work back. Jack Sears just gets the boot up on Rossi Levin.
Ridgebacks think it was clean. I think Jack Sears did get a bit of the ball, but it looked like he may have pulled down the McGill midfielder as well. The ball does come in long, and just a battle between the two midfielders.
And a chance here for Maher Ferris to send this one in and hit one of those aerial targets again.
I think if I'm the two head coaches right now, I think I'd be more happy on the McGill side at the moment. They've had more of the ball, a few more of the chances. The Ridgebacks just can't seem to get the ball under control at the moment.
Maher Ferris with what seems like his 10th set piece of the match. Send this one to the far post, looks for Noko. And called for a high boot on Jane Vilfert. And temper starting to flare between these two teams as Vilfert clearly in a bit of discomfort and a yellow card to Noko, it looks like.
Vilfert upset about the challenge. Definitely a high foot coming in from the McGill player. It was a good ball into the box, but instead of using his head, definitely some contact with Vilfert and the number 2 for the McGill Redbirds.
And Vilfert just getting checked in with our match official. Well, it looks to be good enough to continue on without needing further assessment.
The ref just having a word with Vilfert at the moment, waiting for Kevon Grant to get the ball back into play.
Grant finally able to get this one restarted. Metai nods that one on. Gets back onto it himself. Arian Metai runs into Jack Sears. As Greaves plays that one down. Keeler at the back post, headed away. Chami able to get there first. And send that up for McGill. As Irwin able to play out of the back. Uses the McGill defender to get the ball to Jack Sears. A nice little give and go picked off by Laurent. And Ludovic Cucciola sends that one up to Mir Hassan. Keeler able to rise to get there first. Jack Sears now. He brings it to his left, has an opportunity here. Metai with lots of space. He's taken down on the challenge.
Wow.
Referee says it's the ball. And it comes to an outstanding stop.
I think the goalie did great to come out there and close the space. I thought Metai had way more time than he did. I think he did as well. Closed the space, didn't even allow a shot, and I think it's a clean challenge.
Chiocchiola with a fantastic stop. A brave stop as well to stop Metai from a clear chance. And given his form, it probably would have been a goal.
Good play again from Jack Sears to open up a little bit of a gap in the middle. Ends up beating one of the McGill Redbirds defenders, as we'll see here. Good first touch inside. Metai looked like he had a lot of space on the left-hand side, but it's great goalkeeping, you have to say, from the Redbirds keeper.
And Ontario Tech will hope that starts a few waves of possession for them as Cairo Kaur sends that one out to Medanian on the left side. Medanian chips that one in, couldn't quite hit Metai. That's cleared away. And we'll go almost over the touchline. But control taking back from McGill, and they'll certainly want this game to be a little bit more calm.
Yeah, I like the pushback from the Ridgebacks the last couple minutes. They've had a couple more chances, dictated by Jack Sears in the middle of the field. McGill's definitely going to want to try to get a little bit more possession.
Irwin rises to just hold that one off from Mir Hassan. A long shot saw Grant slightly off his line.
Yeah, it was an ambitious effort, but you never know what could fly in these games at this time of the night.
The best outdoor racers in Canada are in Kelowna, BC this weekend for the 2024 U Sports Cross Country Championships. Catch U Sports on CBC's exclusive live coverage, beginning with the men's 8-kilometer race at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by the women's 8K race at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the 2024 U Sports Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships exclusively on U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
The Redbirds keeper, Chiocchiola, looks like he's just down here, potentially from the challenge with Arian Metai just earlier.
And the Redbird staff pulling all their players over. And almost acting as a little bit of a timeout for both these teams to kind of adjust what they were doing so far in this second half as the Redbirds look at, potentially having to replace their goalkeeper.
We're still as it stands as we were at halftime, still 1-1. Ben, what are you seeing and expecting for the rest of the game?
Both these teams have been able to have various spells of possession and really threaten, but we've seen that shift of both wingers. We've seen Keeler come over to this right side where he's been a little bit more threatening, and that's interesting because, McGill has countered that by bringing Chami over here as well. They can't get rid of each other.
I agree. I think we've said it to begin the game, and it's hard to predict, but I think set pieces may win this game. Both teams have been dominant in the air so far. I think McGill has done fantastic at defending them, as we've seen in the OUA Championship with the Ridgebacks being fairly proficient in the air. But I think that's definitely going to be a big part going forward in this match.
Definitely has felt like that's where it's going to come from so far. As Sear is able to work that one out to Medani and loops that into Metai. Couldn't quite meet that with his head. As Greaves tries to fight the ball back. Taken by Greaves. He brings it to his left. Floats that in. He had Kaur lurking. And Irwin with a long shot blocked by Kaur. And Chami will come up the other side, blocked by Kaur, who was in an offside position as well.
Well-struck effort from Alex Irwin, the center back. Don't know if it would have challenged the Redbirds keeper in net because it was blocked earlier, but good opportunity from the Ridgebacks. Unfortunate for Corey, he's just kind of standing in an offside position. Of course, didn't mean to get in the way of that, but nonetheless, it's going to be a Redbirds free kick.
You don't quite plan for your center back to take a crack with his left foot from 35 yards.
I definitely wasn't expecting it, that's for sure.
As Greaves is able to get possession, he has Medanian streaking up that left side and makes the run off the ball himself to get the ball back and just sees it go out of play.
Ball just kind of getting held up on that far side right in front of all the assumed Ridgebacks fans. I'm sure there's some McGill fans out here still.
A few McGill fans I've seen within the Canadian University soccer areas of the internet have planned on coming down if McGill wins this game today.
Well, they're more than in it at the moment. 73rd minute here, still 1-1 at Vaso's Field. I think as the game continues to stay as close to it as it is, the pressure continues to mount on the host Ridgebacks.
We'll see third-year Esteban Waugh coming into this game as well. Try and open this game up a little bit more for McGill. As Medanian gets by his defender on the touchline and just cleared aside for a deep throw for Ontario Tech. Sear is able to hold on to it and called for a handball. And could this be one of those set pieces that might decide this game?
Looks like Jack Sears had a decent first touch and tried to flick the ball over Noko, and it ends up making contact with his arm. It's a good position for the Ridgebacks. I think it's probably going to be the right footer Sears taking this free kick. Definitely going to want to try to beat the front man. The Redbirds have done well of clearing away these crosses. Alex Irwin again going to be the target at the back post, the number 4 for the Ridgebacks.
Sears standing over this free kick with the right-footed delivery. And he certainly sent in some threatening balls through this match and the OUA final. And has quite a few options in the box too. Jack Sears on his home pitch, loops that in near post. That bobbles around. Keeler with the left foot takes a deflection. And that one just trickles out for what looks to be another corner.
Challenge in the corner flag between Keeler and it looked like Chami as well. I think it's actually going to be a throw-in, it looks like, potentially. And a substitution for McGill.
McGill bringing in third-year midfielder Esteban Waugh. 6 games played through the regular season. Holds Spanish citizenship as well. And Noko makes his way out of this game. As Keeler sends in the Short throw just to the edge of the box. Kaur tries to hold him off, and that one will go out for an Ontario Tech corner.
Another set piece here. Need good delivery from Kobe Greaves. Seems like the back post deliveries have been working for the Ridgebacks. I'm assuming you'll probably see another one, another driven ball in from Greaves from the corner flag here.
Kobe Greaves with the delivery in the 77th minute. This one to the back post, rising and punched out. Danger certainly not gone, though. Matthew Keeler, the first one there, tries to send it back in, but that one trickled on the ground, and McGill will come out with space the other way. And Kevin Grant makes his way out under pressure as well.
They had a chance there on the counterattack. McGill had numbers, but Keeler and Grant did well to snuff out the danger.
And going down the other way, but just hit down with his hand was Cairo Kaur.
Yeah, just unfortunate. It looked like it bounced up on Cairo there. Probably would have caused the McGill back line some problems driving at them with numbers behind him, but unfortunately comes off of his hand.
That one taken back in midfield. Yannick Laurent sends that one on goal. Second chance here. Mir Hassan couldn't quite control it, but he would have been out on goal. That one goes out to the far right. Mir Hassan again can't control it. Swing and a miss on that effort from Nassim Kemal, who came into the game.
Matthew Keeler coming around to this right-hand side again. Definitely going to be a big part of the end of this game for the Ridgebacks. I think his service has been pretty good during the run of play, and you're definitely going to get Kaur and Matai in the box in these last few minutes.
As Sears tries to work that one down and does manage to get around his man, Jack Sears, but just cleared aside.
I think we should give a little bit of credit to the Ridgebacks back line. Mir Hassan's been pretty quiet throughout this match. The player that we noted we wanted to watch prior to this game, and yeah, I don't think he's had much of the ball, and kudos to the Ridgebacks back line for that so far, at least through this match.
Nathan Yee gets set to come into the match for McGill, but Matthew Keeler just gets caught on a bit of an odd bounce of the ball. And Vilfort controls on the near side, just forced to play it out from Emilio Rossi Levin. And McGill will be able to make their substitution here in the 79th minute. The road to the Vanier Cup continues on Saturday, November 16th, when the RSEQ Dunsmore Cup champions head to the province of Saskatchewan to take on the Canada West Hardy Cup champions in the 2024 Mitchell Bowl. Catch all the action exclusively on CBC Gem beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The road to the Vanier Cup and U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
Sears plays a quick free kick here to Keeler.
And Keeler looks to get there first. He's just held off. A nice looping ball. He's pulled back, and that'll be called down for a foul. And looks to be a yellow card as well.
Yep, yellow card to the McGill left-sided center back. This looks like it's probably going to be treated similar to a corner kick here coming for Greaves. We'll see another look at that challenge with Keeler. Good skill from Keeler to nick it over the Redbirds defender, and he just kind of yanks him down. It's maybe 6 yards, 7 yards in from the corner flag for Kobe Greaves to whip this ball into the box.
A two-man wall for the Ridgebacks. Not quite a corner kick, but can certainly find a threatening set piece off this, and it is Kobe Greaves standing over it. As Greaves takes it with his left, drives it near post. Very different than what we've seen from the Ridgebacks so far, but that one looped back in. Irwin at the back post. Metai will take control. Metai up against Martin Baudelaire. As Keeler with a nice step. Cross comes in with the left. Metai tries to win it back. He can't quite get there. But Keeler gets possession back for Ontario Tech. and looks for a long shot, but that's going to be easily handled by Giciola. And quickly distributed to Mir Hassan, but taken back without much of an impact. Chami sends that one right up to Rossi Levin. And Nathan Yee with his first touches on the ball after coming in to spread the play. And taken back up by Jack Sears. He finds Cairo Kaur. Kaur not quite able to get past his defender. Second ball back for Aaron Metai. Jack Sears gets there as well, but Ontario Tech can't control it, and coming the other way now are the Redbirds. Esteban Waugh able to find Mir Hassan. He has options in the middle. Nassim Kemal lurking in the middle. Mir Hassan on his right sends that on goal and calls for a foul on both sides. It will go out for a corner kick as it goes off Jaden Vilfert.
Some back and forth play between the two sides. The Ridgebacks thought they had a chance down the other way, and the ball comes the McGill Redbirds side. Matthias Warwick with a great challenge on Mir Hassan. He did well to cut back on his right foot, but it's going to be a corner kick for the Redbirds.
Ontario Tech starting to look a little bit frustrated with how this game's gone. 83rd minute. The Redbirds getting a set piece of their own, and of course they scored on a set piece earlier in this match, around the same point of the half actually, as this one just whipped in very close to the goal. Grant gets the first touch on it, and Ontario Tech able to come back the other way. That one chipped up right to Kaur, and he's going to try and win the foot race. He's held back, and that could very well be a yellow card, if not a red, for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, but Kaur did stay on his feet after getting tugged back.
Yeah, the ref didn't think there was enough contact to warrant a foul or more. Kaur, I think potentially if he would have kept running, he may have been in.
I think if you call a foul in that situation, you also have to call a red card.
I agree.
But the crowd certainly getting into it here, and Mir Hassan now with an opportunity, but Vilfert will get there first and be able to shield the ball off. Now look to shield it off for a corner kick, and he does. Or a goal kick, excuse me.
As the game gets closer to the 90th minute, still tied 1-1. The emotion's starting to come out a little bit more between the two teams.
We'll get another look at that chance from Cairo Kaur on the long ball counterattack. He'd certainly gotten through, but probably felt a tug on his shirt and opted to go for the foul. But you're right, he might have been able to catch up there.
Yeah, I think in a tie game in the 83rd minute, it's probably the right call from the ref. You don't want to be the reason that someone gets sent off in that situation. If it's obvious, of course, but I don't think that one was clear and blatant.
And the Redbirds able to come up the other way. Nathan Yee through midfield. He nearly finds a pass to Nassim Kemal. But Matthew Keeler still with energy in his legs. He's taken down by Chami. And once again, the Ridgebacks will be able to bring this ball into the attacking end.
I think this one's probably going to go into the box from Greaves, most likely.
Jeremy Caprietta set to come in for Ontario Tech as well. He looked dangerous in the OUA final against York. And Keeler comes out of the game, even though it looked like Keeler had still a lot to give in energy-wise.
Yeah, I thought Keeler had a decent game. Aggressive, attacking-wise, got some good balls into the box. But Caprietta's a good substitution as well. He's a fairly similar player, fairly dynamic down the wings.
As Greaves standing over this one, lobs it in with his left foot. And able to take it is Jack Sears. He works it up that side to Medanian. Medanian has Sears that he can connect with and does. But that one just taken back. Rossi Levin tries to come up with it through Mir Hassan. And Martin Beaudelet comes forward as well. Mir Hassan, he has Kemal as an option. Mir Hassan on the right. More options streaking into the box and just overhit to the far post, and getting there is Caprietta for his first touches. Important touches to clear this one out.
I think Mir Hassan would have been potentially in on goal if he just took a better first touch. his touch just kind of guided him away from the goal and wasn't able to cut back in before the Ridgebacks defenders were able to close him off.
Ibrahim Chami able to work that one to the inside to Yannick Laurent, who's been an important linchpin of this McGill team and how they've been able to transition to attack. And Mir Hassan on the ball once again. He tries to chip that on goal. Kemmel at the back post, tries to pull that back and just cleared by Vilfort.
I like the idea for Mir Hassan, but I don't know if there was a chance for him to potentially hit that. It kind of closed off the spacing for the rest of his group.
And Vilfort steps in for the challenge, wins the ball back. As Sears able to work that one through and send it up to Arian Metai, who goes down. Looked as though he might have gone down a little bit easily. Yannick Laurent under some pressure, finds Kemmel. Defended by Caprietta, but well knotted on. Nathan Yee in on goal and nearly gets past Kevin Grant, but Alex Irwin to make the stop. Chami able to win the ball back. Ibrahim Chami pulls that one to Kemmel. Kemmel drives that just wide of the near post.
You're not going to fault him for shooting that, Kemmel, but I think the opportunity was potentially to clip that back post to the 6'5" Mir Hassan. Good flicked ball into the middle. Grant comes out to try to claim, but just kind of squirts by him, but Irwin's there to clean up the mess.
And those low-driven shots from distance have caught Kevin Grant before. He's generally good with the ones that are higher up that would look a little bit nicer at first glance. But well challenged from Jane Vilfort there, saying he covered the ball. It will be Emilio Rossi-Levin, but he'll leave that one to take. Ibrahim Chami looks at the cross. That one floated far post. Kevin Grant gets there off the line. McGill saying it went in. Referee saying it went in. Referee then calling him back to a goal kick.
I thought it went over the line.
And we'll get another look at that. I thought I saw the net ripple at one point.
Yeah, the first one where the ball went back stick for a header, I believe. Kevon Grant seemed to get a hand on it, but I thought it squeaked in the back post.
And we'll get a look at that again. Ibrahim Chami with quite the cross. Dangerous ball in, sneaks past. And then it goes off Grant. And maybe Irwin just keeps that over the line. Irwin,
I know that
we get a second look at it here.
The block by Irwin definitely didn't go across, but I think the first one, it's just difficult to see from these angles, but I don't know. It was a great ball in from Chami and a wonderful save from Kevon Grant if it didn't end up going in. I mean, the ref didn't call it, so we'll call it a great save from Kevon Grant, but the Ridgebacks living on the edge here.
And Kobe Greaves coming out of the match. Looks like he was a little bit shaken up on that play. Noah Mosavat coming into this game. But Ontario Tech maybe a little bit lucky. As McGill threatened again off an aerial ball in. Arian Metai able to get that one and called back for a foul, and the fans certainly feeling this one. Chami sneaks that one through to Rossi-Levin. Manages to get by Mosavat as well. Mosavat with an important tackle, leaves for Vilfort to claim the ball. And Sears finds Caprietta. He has options for Cura. Nutmeg from Caprietta. Caprietta can't quite get it past Chami.
Yeah, Caprietta just beat the first man, but he's just got to play that ball into Core's feet. He did well to begin with, but just a bit too many touches from the first-year player for the Ridgebacks.
As Kemmel links up with Yee, but a touch too far. And Rossi-Levin will find some space down this near touchline. There'll be at least 3 minutes of extra time to come. And taken back by Nathan Yee in midfield. That one served all the way across, but just goes a little bit far.
We'll see if we get one more chance for either side in this match before the end of the 90 minutes. I think that last one from McGill may have been the last one we see of regular time. And at this moment in time, I think we're looking for our first extra time of the day, Ben.
And it has to come in the final game when it's cold, when everyone wants to go to sleep. But certainly exciting here with the host team and McGill making their return to the national championship as well. But Mir Hassan sends that one out to Chami. Ibrahim Chami. He's able to find Rossi Levin, and Chami again sends a cross in. Mir Hassan couldn't quite win that header, and Ontario Tech able to come up the other way through Arian Metai.
If it does end up ending 1-1 and going to extra time, I think it's probably the most deserved result of the game so far. I think McGill's probably had better chances, as we just saw one, but they're being fairly equal on both sides. I think both teams have done well going forward, but the defensives have been strong, especially in the second half.
Yeah, both of these teams have been able to really establish themselves in the second half. A ton of chances either way. Maybe a goal, not awarded, but certainly not done yet. Ibrahim Chami, he's up against Caprietta. Nice little back heel to find another option. As Rossi Levin leaves to his center back, who comes forward. Yannick Laurent drops that one up to Chami and just cleared aside. It comes right back, and that one struck through. And it was a clear look at goal, but he didn't put it on target.
Bit of a miscommunication between Sears and Nania. Nania looked like he was just trying to clear the ball, but it kind of rebounded off his head and gave the McGill player a decent shot on goal.
And Kevin Grant will look to send this one up and create a last-minute opportunity here for the Ridgebacks. As that one sent into midfield, Laurent looked to get there first, but able to get on it is Arian Metai. Metai still with it, and that one cleared aside. And just not the touch that Warwick would have been looking for in that situation.
Can't be much more time being added, and there it is.
And the referee calls for 90 minutes, and it will be a 5-minute break between these two teams, and then we will have two 15-minute halves of extra time. But we'll be back after this.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
La dépendance à la nicotine se manifeste sournoisement. Méfie-toi.
Welcome back into Oshawa, Ontario, and Vaso's field. It's 1-1 between Ontario Tech and McGill. We're going to extra time for the first time today. 2 15-minute halves, standard FIFA tie-breaking procedure. But this has been a tight game between these two teams.
It has been, and you can see it in the stats here. Fairly equivalent shots, 13 for McGill, 12 for the Ridgebacks. And it's just as close on the scoreboard. It's 1-1, and I think it's been a pretty deserved result. It's a very close match between two very good teams, and you can see it on the stats here is 8 on target for McGill, 7 for the Ridgebacks, and we're level after 90 minutes.
And it's been a set piece galore in this game. Every chance has seemingly been off a set piece.
Yeah, the Ridgebacks having 6 corner kicks. I still think there may be some more in it for the rest of the game. It's definitely something that may happen for this added extra time, these 2 15-minute periods. But yeah, we'll take a look at some of the goals here in a second.
Of course, we have seen the goals from Cairo Core. It seems like forever ago that he opened the scoring in the 12th minute, and it was quite the goal indeed.
No, it was a great finish from Cairo Core. Good play from Madani and get the ball in the box, and it's the U Sports leading goal scorer type of finish. It's a great bicycle kick.
And Yannick Laurent with the second goal, just sending it in and getting a bit of a potentially lucky header, a bit of a bobble.
Yeah, it's a good cross into the box, just causing problems for the Ridgebacks, and the athletic Laurent with a great finish, and that's where we stand, 1-1, and we get 30 minutes extra of free soccer.
And certainly has been an exciting day between these two teams, an exciting day overall. The winner of this game, of course, getting the UBC Thunderbirds, and that's going to be a tough draw.
Yeah, as we saw earlier, UBC had a great performance against the UNB Reds, and no matter who they play, it's going to be a difficult matchup for both sides. I think Ontario Tech and McGill have both showed out today. Not as attacking-minded as the UNB-UBC game, as we saw 6 goals in that match. But I think either way, as we know in a semifinal at Nationals, it's going to be a difficult matchup.
And, of course, the local York Lions already moving on in this one. Ontario Tech, they would want to set up that final with York as well. We saw that in the OUA, and it was quite the scene for the fans.
I'm sure York would want that matchup again in the final. They'd want to get a little bit of revenge from the OUA loss that they experienced last week.
And in situations like this, do you continue to take risks as you did, potentially in the last moments of regulation time?
I've played a number of times and added an extra time in the OUA, and honestly,
this one's brought down to the touchline as an option in front, and Vilford just able to kick that one aside.
Well cleared by Vilford, but yeah, it's difficult because you want to try to nick a goal before penalties, because as we know, penalties is it's the worst way to lose, but you don't want to leave yourself exposed for a counterattack for the other side, so we'll see how both teams deal with the pressure in this extra time.
Spodelay able to control that, but called for a handball. And Ontario Tech will be able to get possession themselves, which they haven't had yet in this added time. As Grant able to find Irwin with that header, but just taken back in midfield. And Medanian getting a chance down that left side. He can't quite beat his defender, able to get the ball back. B1 shifts it to his left and just chips that in. Kaur gets a touch on it, but cleared aside by Chami. And Ontario Tech able to regain possession through Vilford. He finds Caprietta. And Caprietta, a few step overs, will speed down and just taken away by Ibrahim Chami. Once again, such a calm defender down that left side. And Nathan Yee with a touch too long.
Both of these teams have been in extra time throughout their playoff runs. McGill ending up beating UQTR 2-1 in their semifinal in extra time. And the Ridgebacks ended up going to penalties with McMaster, as they neither team could find a goal in extra time, and ended up winning that on penalties as well. So both teams have been in this situation, except not at this big stage that we have at the moment.
Mir Hassan able to control that, and a pinged ball just a little bit too far to catch onto it for Emilio Rossi-Levin. As Kaur drops back to nod that one on. Jack Sears gets there. He's held back. And Able to come through the other way is Elias Farahat. Farahat with the switch in midfield and works it to Chami. He couldn't quite get that up to Kemmel either, and controlled by Stuart Klenner. And that challenge going uncalled. Jack Sears able to slow the play down a little bit and maintain possession. And taken back by Caprietta, who couldn't quite control it. Noah Masavat, excuse me. Masavat within 3, a nice little chip over and chested down. As that one played through for Sears, and Curran on goal, called for offside. Looked onside to me, but we'll get another look.
I mean, the goalkeeper didn't know it was offside, and he made a fantastic save. We'll see this in a second here, but Cairo Cord just may have gone slightly early. Good play from Matai and Jack Sears, and it's a great ball. I don't see it being offside, but we don't have the greatest angle compared to the linesman, so we'll trust him. But nonetheless, it's a great save from Kikiola.
Alex Medanian up that left side. Finds Arian Meta, who drops back a little bit. And a nice move from Medanian. Sends that cross in. But just a little bit short. And able to win that back and send that into the crowd.
Positive signs from the Ridgebacks early on in this extra time. They've had the majority of the possession early on here, and if Cairo could have kept his run on side, he may have been in there for a potential goal, but good play from the Ridgebacks early on here in the first extra 15 minutes.
As Mir Hassan tries to work his way out of a crowd. But it almost feels like the team that has the possession isn't going to be the team that scores. It's going to be on a counterattack. But McGill able to work something here. Mir Hassan out wide, has options in the middle. Kemmel at the back post. But able to get there was Alex Irwin and put it out of play.
I think the teams are still so evenly matched that it may come down to a mistake or a potential set piece. There just doesn't seem
that
too
one
much.
Floated into Kemmel. Caprietta getting there first. And an option for Yee. Curls that on goal, but safely into the hands of Kevon Grant.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to trouble Kevon Grant unless it's in one of the corners. It's a little too easy for the Ridgebacks keeper.
Irwin spreads that one to Medanian. Not quite able to control it, but able to win the battle and called back for a foul as he takes down Angus Logan.
Ridgebacks fans are unhappy, as you could probably hear him, but looked like a little grab from Medanian.
That one controlled by Yee. He'll leave that for Rossi Levin. Kemmel looping that across. Taken down by Mir Hassan. Can't quite work his way out of the crowd. And Rossi Levin gets there, but Ontario Tech able to regain possession. Cleaner just takes it off of Cairo Core, and going down in some agony was Nassim Kemmel.
Looks like a yellow card's coming as well to Noah Mosavat for the challenge on Kemmel.
I don't see that challenge there from Noah Mosavat, and just misses the ball. Gets his legs.
Looks like they're getting into the box here for another ball in from Chamby. I'm not sure he's going to go short here. He's got Kemmel with him.
Kemmel being told by the assistant coach to just go a little bit wider. But they will use Kemmel short and then take it moving. Ibrahim Chami on his left curls this one in. That's headed away. But second chance ball comes in, and rising to get it was Kevon Grant.
It's well claimed from Kevon Grant. Relieve some of the pressure from his back line and the rest of his team.
As that one sent over the top, Caprietta will get there first. He's up against Chami. Caprietta brings it to his right. Cross goes in, has Metai at the back post. It was just a little bit too far for him to rise and send a header on goal. But Esteban Watt tries to work that one up, and McGill come on the counter. Again, Kemmel at the back post is an option. And taken by Mir Hassan, just pushed out to the right side, and will be an Ontario Tech ball.
Yeah, a little bit too much from the Redbirds number 9, trying to create something for his team, but a couple too many touches and knocks the ball out to touch.
Grant able to send that one up. And Chami wins it right back. As Alex Irwin will step up into midfield. And Kaur couldn't quite find the pass that he was looking for. Rossi Levin tries to work that one across, but picked off by Alex Irwin. And Farahat trying to work it up that left side. And again, just an unsuccessful cross to get it in the box.
Yeah, last couple minutes here, McGill has definitely had more of the ball, starting to get more into this extra time, pushing the Ridgebacks back line a little bit further into their own end.
And there is the option to bring some of the players that have been subbed out of the match back into the match.
And as we get further on through this extra time, you got to start thinking about penalty shooters as well.
That's taken by Chami down this left side. Lots of space for the very influential left back. Kemmel now, and just poked aside from Jane Vilford, and it will go out for a throw-in.
Vilford not happy about it. You think it may have taken a deflection off Kemmel, but it's going to end up being a Redbirds corner kick, and is this now their chance to take the lead late on in the first half of extra time?
12th minute of the first half of extra time. 2 15-minute halves to be played, no golden goal. And standing over it will be Emiliano Rossi Levin. That one looped into the back post, but just headed away. And Stuart Cleaner had come up for that corner kick, but couldn't prove the target. And the fans here at Vaso's Field getting into it. Chance of let's go Ridgebacks. As that one is floated over the top, and Cairo Kaur couldn't quite get there on the first touch, but a weird bounce will land with Caprietta before finding its way back to Ibrahim Chami for McGill. That one chipped over the top, chased on by Nassim Kemmel, and just shielded into Kevin Grant's hands from Alex Irwin. Cleaner. Not quite the pass he wanted, and that one sent up to Caprietta. Just dummies that through his legs, and a sliding challenge from Ibrahim Chami to just get that one out of play cleanly. Caprietta down that right side, but called back for offside.
I think throughout this match, the McGill center backs have done a very good job dealing with Matai and Cairo Kaur outside of the early on goal from Kaur. Logan and clean or have been fantastic at the back for them.
Nathan Yee gets on the ball and just pushed over in the box, but no call, but a nice exchange with Nassim Kemmel to work the ball into the attacking space. We see it there again, and Nassim Kemmel has certainly made an impact since he's come into this match. Same with Nathan Yee. Metai able to sidestep his defender to keep possession, but Yee able to earn that back. And Baudelaire coming up from his center back position. As that one will trickle out for a goal kick here in the final minute of the first half of extra time.
Yeah, we won't expect much added time. There might even be none at the end of this first half. Kevon Grant get us restarted again with less than a minute left in this first half of extra time.
Metai rises to get there first. Jack Sears will spread that one wide to Caprietta. Caprietta just sidesteps, but well done from Chimey to keep this one in play.
And this might be the chance the Ridgebacks were looking for, another set piece. Kobe Greaves, of course, not on the field anymore. It looks like Medanian's going to end up coming to this near side for the outswinger with his right foot. Targets
There's not
Alex
many,
Irwin being again.
Not many times that you can offer something different in the 105th minute of a match. But they certainly will with this outswinger. Alex Medanian with a corner kick in the final moment. That one lands in the box, but nobody there to get a shot off.
Yeah, targeted at Alex Irwin again. Rose fairly high, but didn't get anything on it.
And that will be it for the first half of extra time. Still nothing to split between these two teams. Still 1-1. And it will go into the second half of extra time with all to play for. If not, we'll go to 5 rounds of penalties.
Yeah, not much going on in that first half of extra time. There was a couple half chances, a couple clearances, but honestly not too much to take away from that first half. Honestly, I think as we were stating at the beginning of the extra time, neither team really wants to get it extended too much to allow the other team to counterattack.
Yeah, neither team really took too many risks in that half. At what point, as a coach, as a player, do you start looking at making those special subs for penalties? I mean, with Kevin Grant, you've got a pretty good goalkeeper in terms of a shot stopper when it comes to 12 yards. Yeah,
the Redbirds haven't been in a penalty shootout, at least yet in this playoff run to Nationals. The Ridgebacks did end up going to penalties with the McMaster Marauders, where Kevon Grant did make a couple saves, and the Ridgebacks did end up scoring 4 out of 4 of their penalties. So they've kind of been in that situation before. With regards to penalty takers, you just got to wait and see what happens in the half. You don't want to do it too early where you get a goal and then you got to make more subs and you're out of them. So I think there's a balance. There's a couple substitutions at least we see here coming in for McGill. But, yeah, I think you do it late in the half, but you got to see what happens first in the last 15 minutes here.
And a couple of those two starters coming back into the match for McGill, Mahar Ferris and Kyle Azuma. Seems like forever since we've called their name. But they make their way back into this one, and you have to imagine that it's not only to make the impact that you would as a starter, but also to potentially step up from 12 yards.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably a natural substitution to put a couple starters back into the game for the final 15 minutes of potentially the most important game of your season. And we'll see what happens. There's still time for a team to nick a winner in this last 15 minutes, but if not, we're going to go to the ever-exciting penalty shootout.
And certainly will be a exhilarating second half of extra time between these two sides. And not the only soccer tournament in U Sports happening either. The U Sports Women's Soccer Tournament is happening over in Halifax. The 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship at Wickwire Pitch at Dalhousie University, exclusively on CBC Sports and cbcsports.ca.
Just about to get started here in the second half of extra time with McGill in the white going from our left to right. We'll see if anyone gets a good chance in this last 15 minutes before penalties.
And all the fans certainly sticking around. As Martin Beaudelet gets on the ball, he was stretching at halftime. Certainly fatigue plays a factor with these two teams, and if you're UBC, you have to be looking at this pretty positively as well. These teams both play tomorrow. As this one's just brought up, Caprietta goes in with a sliding challenge.
Yeah, a pretty comfortable win for UBC earlier in the day. A quick 90 minutes and you get back to the hotel. While these two teams kind of battle it out through 120 minutes, it's going to end up being. So it definitely suits the Thunderbirds sitting in their hotel rooms right now.
Is that one sent in by Kyle Azuma. Moaz Farahad pulls that one back and couldn't quite get the shot off. Was Mara Ferris, and a fantastic stop there from Kevin Grant.
Yeah, it's a good left-footed shot. Again, Kevon Grant making it look much easier than it is. Ends up holding on to the shot, but I think he potentially could have hit this first time on the cutback, but Ferris takes an extra touch, and the left-footed shot is handled by Kevon Grant.
And certainly forcing a big save out of Kevon Grant, and does well to hold it on too. Stuart Cleaner gets set to send this ball in on the near side. Ferris couldn't quite control that, and Chami will take it down first touch. Elias Farahat. The Redbirds able to send that one over the top. Farad able to get right back on it. But it'll go out for a Ridgebacks throw. And Grant able to slow this game down as well. And the Ridgebacks not making as many substitutions throughout this match as McGill has, but certainly still a lot of depth in this Ridgebacks team to draw on.
Yeah, and I did watch that penalty shootout between the Ridgebacks and the Marauders earlier in their playoff run. And all the players that did take penalties in that game are still on the field, so I assume there may probably not be a substitution for a penalty taker for the Ridgebacks, but we'll keep an eye out for the Redbirds.
As Beaudelet tries to work that one through. Just chips it over the top and finds an option in Kyle Azuma. Azuma up to Beaudelet, a nice flick in behind to Esteban Waugh. Still fairly fresh legs for Waugh. Tries to find Farahat, but couldn't quite connect, and Sears will slow this one down. Called back for the foul, though, a collision between Farahat and Noah Masavat.
Good step up by Vilford to win the ball and ends up drawing a foul from the Redbirds. Play's just going to slow down here again with Kevon Grant coming out of his net to probably take this.
And Grant find to just slow things down in this one. Probably fancies himself when it comes to penalty kicks. That one floated right into the box. Caprietta almost tried to put a foot through it, but he's able to bring it into the corner. And just deflected off a McGill defender and out for a corner kick as well.
It's a great play from Caprietta. Didn't really have much going for him in the corner there, closed off by a couple McGill defenders, but does fantastic to win a corner kick, and Medanian's going to go across to that far side to swing in another cross.
And Alex Medanian very much the designated corner kick taker at this point in the match, regardless of side, with Kobe Greaves not on the pitch. Greaves going off with a little bit of a knock after getting into a bit of a collision.
we'll keep an eye on the battle between Cleaner and Alex Irwin in the box. That's definitely going to be the
Alex
main
Medanian
challenge.
stepping up for this one. It's the outswinger with the left foot, rising, and couldn't quite claim it and couldn't quite put it on net, but certainly another threatening corner kick.
There was, again, the aforementioned Alex Irwin, someone that Medanian definitely looks for from corner kicks to get onto his crosses, and he did that once again, but the chance just goes wide.
As that one sent up to Ferris, but he couldn't quite control it, and Vilfert will push forward. Gets into a challenge as Elias Farhat brought him down. And Vilfert just trying to drive forward. You can definitely see the extension of the arm of Farhat.
Yeah, Vilfert's taken a couple shots throughout this game, stepping up into midfield to win a couple challenges, and he's been taken down a few times this last couple minutes. Looks like a similar opportunity to put the ball into the box for Kevon Grant as he just had from this near side.
As Grant floats that one in, Metai able to get the first touch, but wasn't able to control it, and Maher Ferris able to just knock that around his defender, and he has a few options streaking up the pitch as well. Slows this one down to just open up a little bit more space. But well closed down by the Ontario Tech press. Pressing with 4 players at this point in the match. A bit of a brave move from Ramin Mohammadi.
Yeah, Ferris just kind of got turned around there, and the Ridgebacks did well to get numbers behind the ball and kind of push him back towards his own goal, because I thought the Redbirds may have had numbers going forward there.
Kachiola sends that one right up, picked off by Mosavat, but shielded out well. Esteban Waugh still able to find his way in this game. He hasn't been the most impactful since coming on, but certainly fresh legs at this point. Even more importance. Metai just misses the knockdown. That's taken out of the back by Ibrahim Chami. Consistent threat throughout the night, especially from his crosses down that left side. As that one's sent across, and Baudelaire couldn't quite keep that in.
Approaching the 23rd minute of added extra time here. We're getting near to the end. We'll start to see if either team starts thinking about making any substitutions for penalties.
Metai just gets in a challenge there with Yi, but Corey able to hold on to it. Sears gets a kick in there and just chipped up, taken down. Referee waves off the appeals. Metai appears to be cramping up, but Ibrahim Chemi able to progress the ball up this left side. Stuart Cleaner, the center back, will send that one wide to Chami. He's been able to drive forward. And Martin Baudelaire started at center back, has drifted over to play more of a right back on some of these substitutions. And Caro Core wasn't quite able to get that ball back. Headed away by Irwin, but danger is certainly not gone. That's taken back by Esteban Waugh and called back for a handball.
Yeah, it looked like head coach Ramin Mohammadi ended up calling that one for the linesman, but it did look like a handball from the McGill number 20. Slows down the tempo again with approaching 5 minutes left in this extra time period.
And Grant allowing his team to take a little bit of a breather as well at this point before serving it up and trying to hit Caprietti on that far side. Hit away by Chami and taken up by Rossi Levin. Couldn't quite find his way through. And the Redbirds still working to hit on the counter. That's where they've had a few more of their threatening opportunities. The counter and set pieces, they haven't had much of them in the extra time. It's been mostly Ridgebacks opportunities, except for that one stop that Kevon Grant had to hold on to.
Yeah, agreed. I also think two standout players so far, at least in this game, defensively, have been Alex Irwin for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks and Stuart Cleaner for the McGill Redbirds. Both have been very strong defensively, and you can probably tell by the 1-1 results at the moment.
As Ontario Tech able to bring this one up through Noah Masavat, and Cleaner once again making an important challenge and working that out to Martin Baudelet up the other side. Come the Redbirds, headed down by Alex Irwin, the two key players you just mentioned, taken back by Nathan Yee in midfield. As Sears sends that one across and out of play.
Now at this point you start to think, is anyone content with penalties? Does someone try to open it up and go for a winner late?
And a concerning moment here as Kevin Grant has gone down with a cramp and is completely reasonable to go down with a cramp at this point in the game. 116 minutes having been played, but the trainer having to come out for Kevin Grant to just stretch out.
Yeah, it's difficult as well. You're playing 120 minutes here, plus potentially penalties, with a very short window of turnaround for tomorrow. I mean, the team that does unfortunately end up losing this match is going to play early on tomorrow in the consolation semis, and there's not as much time for them to recover. And even the team that does win, like we mentioned earlier, the Thunderbirds, relaxing at their hotel room, preparing for whoever wins this game for tomorrow. So no matter what happens here, there's going to be a quick recovery needed for the semifinals on both the consolation and the main bracket tomorrow.
And the turnaround from playing a late game where you're probably not even getting out of here until 10:30, 11, getting back to the hotel, getting asleep, and then playing tomorrow morning in the consolation as well. That's not something that you'd want to do to your body either.
No, I agree. It's difficult too to have your first game of the tournament be the longest possible match with added extra time and potentially penalties, but it happens in such a hotly contested tournament like this.
So that one just blocked down by Alex Irwin. He's pulled down, and Ontario Tech will regain possession in the final 2 minutes of added time.
We'll see if that little span of time where Kevon Grant was down on the ground allows the ref to add any extra time into this. If anything, maybe 1 or 2, but I don't think there'll be much after the 30 minutes is up here.
And Sears able to bring it down the right-hand side, still on the ball, Jack Sears. But wasn't able to make an impact there and taken down, no foul on the play. Very 50-50 challenge there, but McGill with a chance to go forward. That one just blocked, and Karo Kaur tried to work the ball back to himself.
Another stoppage here kills a few more seconds off the clock. I think this is probably Kevon Grant coming up to swing another ball in. Looks like Jack Sears may have actually just waved them off, but I think either way it's coming into the box.
We'll get another look at what happened there as Caprietta went down under the challenge of Ferris. But Jack Sears with an opportunity to send this one in. Not everybody up. There's not going to be the target of Alex Irwin. He's hanging back. And Sears loops this one in, and it's not too threatening.
Yeah, not the ball Jack Sears was looking for there. Late on in this extra time period. If I had to guess, Ben, it looks like we may be going to penalties here.
As Waugh tries to get it past Metai, can't quite beat him. With just about 30 seconds to go in the extra time period, still nothing between these two teams. Karo Kaur scoring the opening goal in the 11th minute of play. And it's been a long time since then.
We're now approaching the 30th minute of play. We'll see what the fourth official puts up here for added time.
There will just be 1 minute of added time in this second half of extra time. As Beaudelet tries to play that through, just a little bit off. Sears can't quite get the controlling touch that he was looking for either, and Angus Logan will advance this up the pitch and working it to Chami, where the threatening opportunities have come from. Chami chips that one out to Ferris and works that one down to the touchline, loops that one in, and just can't quite get the shot off. Beaudelet still tries to get there and just cleared aside. And I can hear you getting nervous as a former Ontario Tech player.
Yeah, I've been in too many penalty shootouts, to be honest. They're always nerve-wracking, and I think we're looking like we're going there after maybe one more potential McGill attack.
As Logan will spread that over to Cleaner. And McGill staff getting frustrated that they weren't going to play it up the pitch as we're over a minute into added time. This will be the last ball sent up of extra time. Waugh couldn't quite get there. Irwin clears, and we will head to penalties in the final quarterfinal. Ontario Tech 1, McGill 1 after 120 minutes of play, and it will be decided from 12 yards. The goalkeepers both staying in net. The players, there was no purposeful substitutions for the penalty shootout. As a player, what's going through your mind right now?
I mean, it's probably the most nerve-wracking time of the game, especially at a stage like this at Nationals. Penalties can kind of go either way, and if you've got a strong goalkeeper, it's definitely an advantage in a situation like this, and Kevon Grant is definitely one of those on the Ridgeback side. I haven't seen as much from the Redbirds goalkeeper as he does play in the RSEQ, but previously in the season, Kevon Grant, a couple saves off the McMaster Marauders as they won a penalty shootout in their semifinal matchup. So it's difficult to predict, but we'll see what happens from both sides. There's going to be nerves on going both ways for sure, though.
Kiochiola with some big saves throughout this match. Kevin Grant with some big saves throughout this one as well. So both these goalies feeling it tonight. The shooters, maybe not so much. There hasn't been a ton of clear chances, at least from the feet. From the aerial opportunities, there's been quite a lot, but still nothing to split between these two teams.
Yeah, I still think back to that opportunity at the end of the second half where we all thought the ball may have snuck into the box with the McGill Redbirds getting a chance at the back post. But other than that, like we noted, there wasn't many opportunities in extra time, and here we are now with penalty shots.
And having played under Ramin Mohammadi as well, is penalty something that is decided before, or are they deciding who's going to take the kicks now?
No, I would assume that it's probably the same players that went through the penalty shootout with the McMaster Marauders. They all scored their penalty shots, and I assume they wouldn't be changing that for this year, but penalty shots are so unpredictable, and I think it's important to note throughout the regular season, the McGill Redbirds were actually 0-2 on penalties. Mir Hassan, who's actually not on the field at the moment, he did miss one. And the Ridgebacks are 4 for 5 this season. And I believe Jack Sears was the one who missed it at TMU away at Downsview Field this year. So, again, it doesn't correlate from the regular season to Nationals. There's just too much nerves at this stage.
And also on the line, fifth-year players that might not have another chance at a national tournament. And McGill back in the tournament for the first time in over a decade. Ontario Tech as OUA champions for the first time.
Yeah, this is the point of the season where it's do or die almost. There's no going back here, and the Thunderbirds are waiting in the semifinal for the winner of this penalty shootout.
Certainly it will be an exciting one, this, and it is still a little bit unclear which side we're going to do the penalty kicks from, but it looks as though they might be to broadcast left on your screen.
Yep, all the fans start to move away from the bleachers and move down to the far side where the penalty shots look like they're going to be taken from.
And there were scenes last year in Cape Breton's penalty shootouts where all the fans are on the fences behind the goal making as much noise as they can. There's certainly horns and vuvuzelas out here today that fans are probably going to be ready to make noise when McGill steps up.
Yep. And it does look like the McGill Redbirds have a shooter walking up. Looks like Kemmel is walking up to take the first penalty. I don't know what you think of the stats behind going first in a penalty shootout, Ben, but I've seen positive statistics for the team shooting first.
Team shooting first, definitely an advantage in the modern game. When you look at the two goalkeepers as well, you can look at how they approach each shooter. There's a lot of mind games that go on at the, both professional level, at the amateur level, and I'm sure that both of these keepers, given the situations that they've been in the past, have thought through some of these mind games as well.
Looks like we're just getting briefed by the referees with the goalies getting ready. An exciting penalty shootout, I'm sure.
It's Kevin Grant on the line for Ontario Tech. Home pitch, all the pressure on him. Nassim Kemmel to open this penalty shootout for the McGill Redbirds. And the horns blaring here at Vaso's Field. As the referee blows his whistle, Kemmel steps up, sends it to the left. And Kevin Grant guessed the right way, but just not close enough.
Yeah, good penalty from Kemmel. It's well struck into the side mesh. Kevin Grant guessed the right way, but it was too well placed from the Redbirds player.
We'll get another look. A near perfect penalty at a savable height, but placed it right into the side netting, and very few goalkeepers are going to get there.
Looks like Alex Irwin, the captain, strong game from him today, is now going up.
Ludovic Chichikola in net for McGill. Alex Irwin, the center back, the captain of this Ridgeback side, steps up with power right down the middle and manages to keep this one tied after one round.
Seemed like a pretty exact replica of the first penalty there. Alex Irwin going to his left. The keeper ends up diving the right way again, but again, well placed into the top left.
And a no-nonsense kick there, a leader of the team. The center back as well, he's had a good game and he scores his penalty, and I'm not surprised the man stepping up to take this penalty. Ibrahim Chami, he's been fantastic tonight.
Yeah, he's had a great game, and I would expect him to put this away, but he's got a good opponent in net here with Kevin Grant.
Ibrahim Chami lining up with his left foot, second shooter for McGill. And no problem, strong and hard into that bottom left corner.
Yeah, no nonsense there from Chami. Puts his laces through it. Doesn't give Kevin Grant enough time to really pick out a side that he wanted to go to.
Just a driven shot right with the laces through the ball into the corner.
Yeah.
And Kevin Grant guesses the right way again.
Yeah, good. I mean, it's quality from Kevin Grant to read both shooters, but the penalties kind of showed precedence there.
And Cairo Corey's taken high-pressure penalties with Cape Breton before, the second shooter for Ontario Tech. Cairo Corey just tucks it in. And the McGill keeper was close, but we stay tied.
Yeah, 4 penalty shots so far, 2 on each side, and the keepers have gone the right direction all 4 times. It's a little lower from Cairo Corey, as we'll see here, but enough power to put that away into the bottom right-hand side.
And stepping up for McGill's third kick, Yannick Laurent, to get us going in the third round of this penalty shootout.
I think it's actually Ferez stepping up, the number 7 here.
Maher Ferez with his right foot puts this on goal and right down the middle again with power.
Yeah, it's a good pen, right down the middle. Doesn't allow Kevin Grant to choose a side high enough that he probably wouldn't have got to it anyway, but it's a good penalty from the Redbirds to start off with all goals on their first 3.
And stepping up now for Ontario Tech, Alex Medanian, who's had a fantastic game so far.
As a first-year player, this has to be nerve-wracking for him, but he's had a great game, as you stated.
He's taken most of the set pieces this evening for Ontario Tech. What's one more for the rookie, Alex Medanian? Steps up on goal, stopped by Gicchiola!
It's a great save. He's gone right all 3 times now. Medanian had it at a height that he was able to get a good palm save on it, and it's unfortunate for the first year. It's the first miss of the shootout for the Ridgebacks.
And the Ridgebacks are the first team to miss a shot tonight, and they'll be up against it as this one goes on.
Looks like we have the center back Keener, another player we noted throughout the game, stepping up for the 4th shot for the Redbirds.
Skinner with his right foot. Another center back in the penalty shootout. He sends it on goal, and Grant makes the save.
It's expected from Kevon Grant to get at least one save in a penalty shootout, and he does it there. He responds the McGill goalie with a very similar save and a very, very similar penalty shot.
And Jack Sears to step up after Kevon Grant guessed the right way. He's guessed the right way every time. First one he's able to stop, though.
Jack Sears, a confident penalty shot taker in the past with Guelph, along with last season with the Ridgebacks.
A chance to take the lead for the Ridgebacks as well. As Jack Sears steps up with power, and that one stopped with a kick save. And heartbreak there for Jack Sears, as McGill know what's at stake in this final round.
Yeah, as an experienced player, you expect him to put it away, but it's a wonderful save. He just kind of gets that left foot out. Seemed like Sears was trying to go down the middle, and the Redsbridge keeper just kind of waited long enough for him to get a foot on it, and McGill is in the driving seat here.
And McGill with an opportunity here. And Kevon Grant came up with a big save as well. And stepping up, Grant makes the stop! Right at the post, and we keep going.
It's another save from Kevon Grant. I think that would have been for the win for the Redbirds, but Kevon Grant chooses the right direction again, and it's a big save for the Ridgebacks. It looks like to me that Caprietta is ending up coming up for the fifth shooter, because the Redbirds did end up going first, so Caprietta does need to score to extend the penalty shot. Another first-year player.
Came in as a substitute in the second half, showed well as a substitute in the second half, and now he steps up with all the pressure to send this one into extra. Chiociola with an opportunity to end this for McGill. But Caprietta steps up on goal, hits the post, and the McGill Redbirds are moving on as the referee blows the final whistle. Some hesitation there, but McGill with the upset over the OUA champions.
Yeah, it was a close match between the two teams all game long. Not much to take between the two teams in extra time, and as we know, penalty shots are the worst way to go out, and it is what it is. It happens, and congratulations to the McGill Redbirds. They played a great game today and had some great penalty shots, and they're going to take on the UBC Thunderbirds in our semifinal tomorrow.
UBC versus McGill. York advanced, so they're still a bit of a local team as well. We'll get a look at this penalty. And heartbreaking there for Caprietta to send that one off the post. It looked as though it was going in. You saw the keeper guess the wrong way, but luck falls the way of the Redbirds tonight. And the Redbirds move on.
Sent Chichiola the wrong way, but unfortunately just couldn't sneak it in that left post. Disappointing for the Ridgebacks not to make it through to the next round on their home field, but it was a valiant effort for them. They put up a good fight against the McGill Redbirds, and they'll be back tomorrow for a consolation match in the morning.
And we will have the semifinals tomorrow afternoon as well. The York Lions, of course, taking on the Montreal Carabin in the early game, and then the later game will feature the McGill Redbirds by a whisker of a post against the UBC Thunderbirds.
Yep, we're going to end up having a rematch. Or not a rematch, but we're going to have both RSEQ teams going on into the semifinals with Montreal and McGill moving on. Unfortunately for the Ridgebacks, their OUA championship is over, and they're going to be on the consolation side now with the York Lions, the runners-up in the OUA, kind of running on representing the OUA.
And it's certainly going to be an engaging tournament. Continuing on Ontario Tech, we'll have to recover quickly. They have a game tomorrow morning, but we do have some players of the game as well, and it is the two center backs that you called out.
Yeah, it's the two players that we kind of noted throughout the match. Stuart Cleaner from the McGill Redbirds, I think he was fantastic. Didn't really give up too much from set pieces. The Ridgebacks didn't have many opportunities, and he was a big part of that. And then on the Ridgeback side, Alex Irwin, I thought, had a great game as well. He was strong in the air, good distribution, scored his penalty as we saw at the end there. Just came up just a little bit short on the semifinal, unfortunate for him.
And it will be interesting to see how far McGill is able to go in this tournament. Of course, they haven't been at the tournament in over 10 years, and now suddenly they're already in a semifinal. They've got to be riding the absolute high of soccer right now.
I'm sure they are. It's the first time back in the championship for a while, and they're got to be excited to go into the next round. And as the 5 seed, they're, again, going to be the underdogs with the number 1 seed UBC Thunderbirds being the team they're playing. I think the Thunderbirds are probably going to be, again, the favorite in that matchup, but anything can happen. I think McGill had a very strong performance today.
And when you look at Ontario Tech as well, you know a lot of these guys, you played with a lot of these guys. What does this mean for the program to get to this point, to be within a post of the semifinal?
I mean, it's an incredible accomplishment for the Ridgebacks to not only host the Nationals, not only participate in the Nationals, but to win an OUA championship, to prove that they should be here through the OUA system. It's disappointing. They, of course, wanted to win this game and move on to a meaningful semifinal tomorrow, but they still have something to play for. They can be 5th in the country with a consolation finals win, and that's still something to be very proud of with so many good teams across the country.
And for McGill moving on to face UBC, of course, UBC got past UNB 4-2. Other scores today being Montreal just sneaking past the Mount Royal Cougars. Montreal versus Mount Royal. Loved the matchup in that one in terms of the team names. And, of course, that was a 1-0 win. And then York early in the morning going 2-1 past St. FX. So there is still a bit of local flavor of the GTA/Oshawa. And York still included in there, even though they didn't get it done in the OUA championship. Do you think it's a bit of a revenge tour for York to finally get to an OUA or a U Sports Final Four?
No, absolutely. I think they would have been extremely disappointed with their loss in the OUA finals to the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. Being at home, I'm sure they would have expected to win that match, but I know many of the York players, and I'm sure they're going to forget all about the OUA championship if they end up getting to the final and winning this national tournament here on Ontario Tech soil. So it's a definitely something that the Lions are going to be in for tomorrow. They're coming up against a very strong Montreal Carabin side, and I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup tomorrow afternoon.
And, of course, you saw the Carabins play earlier today as well. Always an exciting team with what they can offer, and they've produced a lot of CPL players as well.
They're another team similar to UBC where it's just good programs year after year after year, and they always make nationals, and they always perform very well. So I think that matchup between New York and Montreal is going to be definitely one to look out for tomorrow, alongside the McGill and UBC one.
And we will have our player of the game presentation as well after all of penalties, all of extra time. Certainly was as long as it can get in this one. I guess it could get longer. We could go to goalkeepers in the penalty shootout, but all 5 rounds of penalty kicks, and it ends with a post.
Yeah, it's the worst way to go out, as we said before. Penalties is just a tough way to lose in a national championship, but I think we have to give credit to both goalies in that shootout. The Cicciola from the McGill Redbirds, he ended up making 3 out of the 5 saves. I mean, one did hit the post, but he had a great game in the penalty shootout. And Kevon Grant, a couple saves. You can't really expect too much more from your goalkeeper. But again, you have to be. It's a positive season for the Ridgebacks. And we're showing here Alex Irwin being the player of the game for the Ridgebacks, the number 4, the captain. I think he had a great performance today.
Scored his penalty kick as well, stepped up when he needed for his team. And you don't often see center backs taking penalty kicks that high in a penalty shootout. And it's another center back that also stepped up, Stuart Cleaner, getting the player of the game for McGill.
I thought Cleaner was fantastic today, as I noted earlier. He was just a rock at the back for the McGill Redbirds, and he's going to be needed even more against the UBC Thunderbirds tomorrow.
And both these teams will want to rest up quickly. One definitely a little bit happier than the other. But still, lots of soccer to be played over these next few days at the 2024 Bruce Power U Sports Men's Soccer Championship. Lots of soccer out east as well at the BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship in Halifax. They wrapped up their first day a little while ago as well. Semi-final on Friday, a little bit quieter on Saturday, consolation finals, and then the big Sunday with all the championship games. It's always a fun weekend with the U Sports Soccer Championships.
No, I think it was a great environment today, having a lot of people having lots of people out to watch the York game this morning, a number of people supporting the game's middle of the day today in the afternoon, and there was a number of fans here at Vaso's Field for the Ridgebacks, which I'm sure they're all going to be a little bit disappointed, but we'll see McGill put their sticker on the board, and they're going to be moving on to the semifinal.
Big semi-final matchup tomorrow against the number 1 team in the nation, the UBC Thunderbirds, the Canada West champions. But for our entire crew that broadcasted 4 games today, for everyone else that was tuning in, and for myself, Ben Steiner, thanks so much for tuning in to the Bruce Power 2024 U Sports Men's Soccer Championships on CBC.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Barraburn Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, et par Bruce Power, and by Bruce Power.